are not those of WIBX, its staff, management, or parent company, Town Square Media.
If we take the jail first, we'll have a place to lock up all the others. Then there's Keeler. He took over the bank as soon as the judge was murdered.
But I think that's because when you make tough decisions, you're left to deal with the repercussions.
Seriously, dear, I've done so many of these shows across the nation, helped so many people, and guided them to my website. And
look at this.
What is this, a joke program? I mean, what type of a program are you running here?
Here comes the ball.
Go.
Did you hear that hair?
Be hungry. First on Fox Sports.
Yo, New York!
Radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a contract.
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paul Well in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning. Go to hell!
Free your mind.
Well, not a bad yesterday morning, right?
No, not
and
at all.
Then, of course, we got some rain. But it was still warm.
Well, I guess we needed it.
I guess we needed some rain, some more rain. The weekend is over, and here we go for another week. It'll ultimately be your final April week. And today was supposed to be like partly sunny and
80 degrees.
80. None of that is holding true. We're not even going to get close to that. It'll be overcast through the day and a high of maybe 70. But there is a change. Do you feel the change now?
Yeah, finally. You can
Yeah.
feel the warmth, the humidity in the air, and,
Sure, I love the humid part, but it is humid.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a sign that the summer-like weather is here to come and hopefully stay.
So the NFL draft occurred over the last few days, and it's now over and in the books. And I do want to get Davey's take, but you're all tickled pink over the
I love it.
the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm. They did a wonderful job. Our GM just did a phenomenal job drafting a lot of offensive line protection for Jordan Love, some great defensive players, which is what we struggled in last year. So new defensive coordinator in town is coming in and swooping up all the draft picks because we've got a ton of wide receivers. We did pick up a running back and a quarterback to back up Jordan Love. So all
Okay,
in all,
I don't mean to interrupt, but Davey's here. We don't care about the Packers.
you will. You will.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Davey, Friday I was trying to talk you off the ledge and reminding you that maybe he has a plan. And he's getting some high scores for talking about Brandon Beane, getting some high scores for this draft weekend.
Yeah, A+.
I saw others giving B's, but still, there's a C out there and an A+. It all depends on who you are. Josh Allen is happy. Others are happy on the Kincaid is happy.
Well, Kincaid's the one that put Brandon Beane's in Brandon Beane's ear to draft the safety from Utah, who's supposed to be real, real good.
So you're now feeling better.
Yes.
And actually, you're feeling pretty good.
I'm not on the cliff anymore. I backed off 50 feet.
So the idea was that what Beane was saying is that, we needed to trade down in order to get more. And because there were more areas that we needed to plug up and more leaks that needed to be plugged, if you will. So they were able to do that. And, now it all depends. We'll see what happens.
I had a laugh at one of the reporters that was on Saturday, I believe. They did the introductory meet the media in Buffalo after the wide receiver from Florida State. And I think it was from Rochester or out of the area. He asked him, you better have a nice pair of long johns with you because the winters up here are kind of
Now, see, why does he got to say something like that? Scare the kid when he's just get drafted,
Terrible. Well, yeah. I mean, you better be ready for potential cold, although it has not been nearly as cold here,
Right.
as we have seen in the past. I'll get to some comments, and we have some coming up here in
The
a
most
second.
shocking, though, was, and I can't believe it, and there was a viral video that was going around all weekend of Arthur Blank kind of going to talk to his GM because the Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr., and they just spent all that money on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So, like, the video leaked over the weekend of the GM trying to, like, Arthur Blank, the owner, just kind of went over to him and was talking to him, and he's like, basically doing that CYA explaining.
So do you? It is. You do wonder. It's always important to have a strong backup, I guess. But wow, that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Kirk Cousins is quite injury prone, so there is always the option that you want to have a backup, and you want to have a young quarterback, coming up through the ranks with a veteran quarterback to follow. But just a little bit of head scratcher there. I think that was the only real head scratcher of the whole draft.
This morning, we have a bunch to get to today. Ryan Scholls, Democratic lawmakers calling on Biden to reinstate 2 Trump-era immigration policies. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
And what are we waiting for? Also, this morning, Jimmy Failla from Fox Across America is on, fresh off his weekend post White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yes.
So, well, was he at the dinner?
Yes, he was.
Okay, cool.
He was in full coverage.
And I know he did coverage before and maybe afterwards as well. Colin Jost was the MC. Had a couple of good jokes. It can be easy to tell, like, old man jokes, memory jokes about the President of the United States when he's sitting right next to you.
Well, it's not like he'll remember, so.
Probably won't. Yeah, I think that was part of the joke.
Jimmy Failla also spoke to, I think, and he had some live cuts on Fox News Saturday night. We also spoke with John Fetterman, who was dressed up in his tuxedo hoodie.
Okay, that's funny.
He had like the bow tie.
That is a bit of a joke on in its own, right? Scott and Kirkville on NBA NHL playoffs going on right now. The Knicks looking pretty good.
Boy, do they.
And we'll speak with, he is actually an employee here at the radio station, Paul Stern. He has many family members in Israel right now. Mm-hmm. Some of the arrests over the weekend, some of the protests over the weekend. I don't know what's going on. I can't imagine these schools. My thoughts are these schools probably want as soon as possible to end this semester and send these kids home.
Yeah, because if the school year still goes on and they're there, it's a distraction. Do they just pack up and leave once the school year ends? I don't understand it.
Well, and it's funny that we talked a bit about my daughter's take on the whole thing, and she's very furious because she feels that these students have no idea what they're protesting about. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's no one that loves war, but sadly, this whole thing is a part of war. And by the way, let's not forget that Israel was first attacked viciously. Yeah. Nonetheless, she said one of the things that, first of all, she was confused as to why are they asking for money. So there's actually like a GoFundMe type app that's been set up. And these are students looking for money to be able to pay for lunches, to be able to pay for...
the Starbucks catering.
Correct. That is absolutely right. So that she's confused by. And the other part is... they want, in NYU's situation, they want NYU to cancel their overseas program in Israel, and they want NYU to no longer do any businesses with any Israeli companies, no more, sell off all of their Israeli investments, whatever that might be. And... chances are that's not going to happen. And NYU probably has been one of the toughest, as they called the cops.
Yeah, there's some schools that haven't. There are some schools that have not.
Even USC, that called in the police and then sent the police home. I don't know what you're thinking, because you're letting them set up a camp where the police prevented that from happening. And now they're setting it up. What is... these kids are paying all this money for tuition, or maybe they get a free ride. it's time they start going to school.
I wonder where the parents are on all this, because in a lot of cases, it's the parents that are paying a lot of money. If it was my kid, I'd say you get your rear end back into the classroom and stop with all the nonsense.
I completely agree. Yep. Let's see, Mike this morning. How about they had to bring Biden in the back door of the journalist dinner because of the protesters at the front door. And believe me, they're protesting him over what's going on and over the support of Israel. And then Mike says, well, Davey was upset with the Bills getting rid of their first-round draft pick. The issue for the Bills is they had so many positions they needed to fill. It probably did as well as it could to get more picks. And that's really what Brandon Beane was saying, because that's what he ended up doing. Mike, I like how Detroit moved all the homeless people out of the city so it could look as well as it could during the draft.
Yeah.
That's an old Giuliani trick, or you see that happen during the Super Bowl. And then, Mike, these kids protesting have no idea what they're doing in regards to potentially destroying their ability to get a good job, because many companies who search their social media and find out about them being a protester will likely not want to get involved. And that is also very true. You want to add to that, Davey? Anything you want to add to there?
Nothing.
Okay. Thanks, Davey. So I mentioned Paul Stern will be on later this morning. He's an employee here at Town Square Media. And his experience, his perspective with family members over there in Israel, what his take is on this whole thing. Okay. All right. So there's where we are to start off a Monday.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Mother's Day is just around the corner.
It is. What is it, the 10th?
Do you know the Kentucky Derby is this weekend?
Yeah, Saturday.
We'll speak with Scott about that as well.
Sorry, the 13th, Mother's Day.
In Kirkville a little later on, but it's a week from Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there was a horrific accident in Herkimer County.
Yeah, it happened on Wednesday, but it was announced later in the week. It was a 90-year-old woman who was tragically killed. She was traveling north on State Route 28 when she slowed down to pull in her driveway. Another vehicle operated by 40-year-old Greta Elliott from Mohawk rear-ended her vehicle, her being Doris Polzinski. Her vehicle was then pushed into oncoming traffic, colliding with a vehicle being operated by 36-year-old Sharon Kupiak of Newport. Doris was transported to Little Falls Hospital via ambulance and then later Albany Med, where she eventually succumbed to her injuries, and she was pronounced dead on the Wednesday the 25th. So definitely a tragic incident there.
Certainly was a
Thursday the 25th.
Was a very terrible accident. And she was 90 years old.
Yeah.
And then an interesting story north of Saratoga, Queensbury, and at Six Flags, the Six Flags there was, and actually this turned out to be a really good story by the time it was all said and done. But a 5-year-old child was pulled from the lazy river. It's an indoor portion of their water theme park up there.
Yeah.
It was a 5-year-old girl was not breathing, was found drowned in the lazy river. They pulled her from the water and revived her, and she survived.
Wow, that is.
Yeah. You think about how easy those lazy rivers are. They're light. I mean, you're gentle. But water is water, right?
You could drown in inches of water, they say.
Yeah. I've seen that. And what happens is people they begin to panic.
Yes.
And then they just run out of. They become so exhausted. So, all right, a quick break here. It is Monday morning and an overcast day on the way. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantique.com.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Get ready. It's truck season at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, and these deals won't last long. Test drive the 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4x4. Lease it for $489 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or take advantage of the purchase offer with a $6,000 rebate or rates as low as 0.9%. Or the 2024 Equinox LS all-wheel drive. Lease it for only $359 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or purchase it with a $2,000 rebate and rates as low as 1.9%. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevy. Customers must qualify top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offer on select models. Lease offer must have select model current lease through GM Financial. Finance offer must have 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. See salesperson for details. Must take delivery by April 30th, 2024. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, Route 28 in Herkimer, or at StevePawneeChevy.com.
It's happening daily. We're being conned by the institutions we used to trust. The mainstream media is distracting us with meaningless headlines instead of focusing on the harsh realities facing American families. Time is short before something big happens, and that's why so many folks are preparing. They're becoming self-reliant by investing in emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and secure 4-week emergency food kits for each member of your family. Each kit contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Save $50 on each 4-week food kit you purchase. Plus, get free shipping on Ready Hour 4-week emergency food kits. You're not ready if it's not Ready Hour Foods. At My Patriot Supply, you can also get solar power generators, water filtration units, heirloom seeds, and survival gear. Order by 3 p.m. and your unmarked boxes ship the same day. Shop MyPatriotSupply.com today. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Keeler.
All right, let us go to Ryan Scholls from Fox News Radio, standing by on the line right now. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good to hear from you. And how are you doing on the draft? You guys good with your draft this weekend?
Well, first of all, I want to point out that it is an atrocity that the White House Correspondents' Dinner weekend happens the exact same week as the NFL draft. And
I can understand that, yeah.
So someone's going to have to move it. I think the NFL should be the one that does that because everyone already is annoyed that how the draft is so late now compared to back when it was March when I was growing up. So let's move it up a little bit so we can enjoy this weekend.
We can
more.
enjoy it, yes.
I know. You mean you don't enjoy the White House Correspondents' Dinner immensely?
Oh, I enjoy every second of it, but I want to also watch the NFL draft.
That's right. There's got to be.
Can't have both.
Yeah, you got to be able to have.
There had to have been people streaming it, at the tables during the dinner.
Well, when the dinner actually started, it was day 3, but there's a ton of parties throughout the entire week, and a ton of other things that go on. So, and now that it's in prime time, also on a Thursday, it's just kind of hard to watch it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope the
Ravens will be fine.
Ravens did well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah. we got a guy that was rated as like the number 2 corner on some big boards at number 30, so I'm satisfied.
Okay. The Bills fans were ready to jump off a cliff, and then by the time the weekend ended, we're all okay. Everybody's good. All right.
We'll see.
This is interesting. Democratic lawmakers calling on President Biden to reinstate 2 Trump-era immigration policies. A capital P for procrastination, but okay. What are we looking at here?
Right. So you have 5 Democrats who are now calling on the Biden administration to utilize what is called Remain in Mexico, which is a Trump-era policy that pretty much states if you come into the country seeking asylum, you have to wait in Mexico until your immigration court date. And then the other policy is called Title 42, which was a COVID-era policy that allowed the Trump administration and the Biden administration to pretty much deport people at an accelerated rate through a public health reasons. But how that would work, bringing it back, I'm not quite sure. But it was something that people saw as an effective tool for controlling the influx of migrants down at the border.
Well, and a good justification would be, here's how I would say it, who knows what they're bringing across the border? I mean,
or the money that's being spent on them that could be spent on people who need it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could easily justify it's a public health crisis just because, I mean, you have overcrowding in some of these detention beds. You have people living in massive shelters. They're having to build shelters in states like New York so that people can they can deal with the influx of migrants. So you can easily make a case that it is a public health issue right now.
And for the record, the trailers, the dozens and dozens of trailers that are parked next to the Thruway Exchange in Utica, we're told that those are construction vehicles for construction projects through the summer. They are not.
No, they're not.
It is
you
not
liar.
migrant housing. People are going crazy over it. But the truth is that in our budget, a ton of money was spent on dealing with this migrant situation. It is costing everybody. So this is a crisis. And you're right. When you pack all those people into a facility, it is a health issue. There's no other way to look at it.
Yeah, and I think that's what this group of Democrats are trying to make the point of, is that they feel that if President Biden utilizes executive order and uses some of these policies, that they can make a difference in terms of reducing the amount of migrant flow that's coming across the border.
Yeah. All right. Now, how has there been any reaction at this point?
This came out late last week, so we haven't heard too much. But Congress is coming back this week. I would assume the southern border is going to be at the top of everyone's agenda. There is a group of Republicans who believe that they're not going to be able to do anything until Election Day because of the fact that the Ukraine aid has been passed. They felt like that was their leverage point for getting some type of border security across the finish line. But, I think there still are a lot of bipartisan opportunities that people are looking out for.
Yeah.
I don't know if Republicans are going to be able to get everything they want or what they've been pitching, but I think there is some opportunity there still.
All right. Interesting stuff. Ryan Scholls, thank you as always. Have a wonderful week.
Hey, of course. You too. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Before you go, I do have a listener asking a question right off the bat. They want to know if at the correspondence dinner, if all the Fox News personalities get stuck at a table at the back of the room, or are you treated fairly?
Well, it depends. So we had some who had some prime seating. We had some who had some less prime seating. So the last year, we had these really nice spots on the right side of the stage that were all the way in the back, which were right by where the exit is to go to the bathroom. So it was super convenient.
Okay, that's convenient.
This year we were huddled in there, at least my table. I had a giant pole right behind me, so I was very limited with space. So I definitely got the probably one of the worst seats in the house, and I could barely see the screen too. So I think they definitely went after me specifically.
You specifically. All right. Of course, I hope, I believe Jimmy Failla had some prime seating. We will speak with him later on this morning. So.
Oh, awesome. Absolutely. Jimmy's great.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you, Ryan. Have a great day.
Hey, you too. Have a good one, guys.
All right. Thanks. That's Mike. That's a good question. I think it's a fair question out there. I am I wonder if, like, when we go on vacation in the summer.
Yeah.
We go on we've been doing over the last couple of years the Viking
Yeah, I hear
cruise.
wonderful things.
So it's awesome, and but every day you're on a mission.
Yeah, right. There's a planned
There's very little
schedule
very
down
little
to a
time. Now,
T.
you don't have to do that, but my wife loves it. So, and I mean, listen, you're in London. Don't you want to see these iconic buildings, these Westminster Abbey? You have to go to these things. But a lot of times, you're working. Like it's in all. You better get to bed early because you're going to be up early. You're going to be.
There's
going
to be a test after this.
If you go to Paris, I mean the Eiffel Tower. I mean, how do you miss that tour? You can't miss that tour.
No.
Anyway, then this week my wife was off. It was spring break week. They're back to school today, and we were staycation.
That's always fun.
I swear to God, we had more going on in this last week. I'm ready to get back to work so I can rest. We were.
Isn't that the case?
Holy moly. It has been busy. So I am glad to be back post-vacation, even though I didn't take a vacation. I feel like I need a vacation after the staycation.
Yeah. So you were vacationing. You were quasi-vacationing is what it was.
Well, I would say hyper vacationing. Vacationing. But it's different when you're not vacationing because you're still up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that is the benefit of being able to sleep in. You know,
the benefit of being able to somewhat be able to sleep in on your vacation. Da 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 da. Oh, the big black cat problem that we had.
Oh yeah.
I've had all these people giving me ideas on how to get rid of it. So far, nothing has really worked. I don't have everything in place yet, however. But yesterday. My wife's cat was in we have a screen room, just lounging around, watching the chipmunks run around, and all of a sudden the big, and I'm telling you, I have video of it. The big black cat came right up to the screen, and there was some fighting between the screen. Like the screen separated the two. There was some fighting going on. This looked like a Black Panther.
So you do not think that this is a feral cat? This is a cat in the neighborhood that belongs to somebody else?
No, I think it's a feral cat. That's how I'm looking at it.
Oh boy,
I believe it's a feral cat.
What a menace!
And spraying all over stuff. Next, it'll be spraying on lawn furniture and cushions and that. You can't have it.
Have that
stuff will be it'll be over with. You might as well throw it out. An LSU baseball fan getting smacked by, did you see this story? Smacked by a 109-mile-per-hour home run ball.
Oh, my God.
In the head is all over social media still after it happened last week. His name is Corey. He got a big welt on his forehead as well, but he's okay. You can get his reaction to it. I'm going to try to bring it up here. This would be me, I believe. Should have already had that up. I'm sorry. And then I have to have that in as well. Here is his reaction.
I've been carrying this glove with me for years. Now's my time. I got one coming. Hole in the glove, man. What can I say? Being off my dome and got a nice little goose egg.
Does it hurt?
And it don't feel good. It felt like every bit of a 109-mile-an-hour home run ball, yes.
Did we get the ball afterwards? Or?
No, it skipped over the fence. But Josh Pearson, man, he's such a great guy. He came to toss me their toss ball that they do in between innings. Probably Friday I'll go get Tommy White to sign it for me and maybe kiss my Bobo.
Okay. People are loving the clip. It is a clip that is loved.
His accent actually got better when he got hit in the head with the ball. You should have heard him before.
I think it kind of did. You're absolutely right. In studio this morning is...
Now, careful with that, Minaski. You got to be gentle with that thing.
Is a special... And you got to talk right on it. You literally have to be right on it. Do you guys... By the way, do you need audition in for a recording, or you don't? That doesn't matter anymore?
No.
It's just program. Okay. I didn't
so you're
realize
going to
that.
tilt that up just a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
And you got to literally be
right up on that.
What's this light mean?
It means it's on.
You're on.
Red means we're on. Okay.
If you see it go off, it's like I'm editing you.
He's shutting you down.
So can I get headphones?
Yeah.
Is my mic on?
Davey, he's going to need
on.
some headphones. Do we have any? How do we not have headphones?
What happened to all
Well,
the-
like I walked in this morning and somebody had decided
You're
to use
talking
mine.
below the microphone, Andrew.
Somebody had.
You got a point that you got to be right on it.
It is on it. I am
no,
on it.
you've been all over the mic today. I'm telling you.
I have not. I've been in the same spot.
Let me say the opposite of that. You've been all off mic today.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Okay, apparently my ears are wrong. Okay, go ahead. Now you don't want to talk. Now
no,
he's
I'm
pouting.
not going to say a damn thing.
He's pouting. Manaski's all excited with the Knicks.
Oh, my goodness. Boy, I'll tell you, we were sweating it out yesterday. The Knicks trailed for a good chunk of it and took the lead in the second half. I wasn't sure that they were going to be able to hold on there on the road, but and we caught a break with Embiid in that bad leg he's got. But, yeah, up 3-1. It's unfortunate we don't have Julius Randle. So I am kind of doubting that we'll make it all the way to the finals. But, yeah, Knicks are up 3-1 against the Sixers.
And the Mets had a big come-from-behind victory yesterday, which was pretty big. Well, not come from behind. They were tied 1-1 and went into the 11th inning. Actually, they did come from behind. Then there was a 2-1 lead, and the Mets end up winning 4-2. And had a great pitching performance. Quintana went 8 complete innings. They actually were about to pull him, went to the mound, forget who was coming in relief, and they stopped him. And they walked off the field and let him stay and pitch that batter.
Really?
Yeah. And he struck him out.
It's I've been down this road before. It's too early for me to get excited or down on the Mets.
Although, Andrew, you are quite excited about your Yankees.
I just can't believe it. There's some days they can't get a hit, and then there's days like the last two where everybody's hitting.
It's baseball, man. Baseball, and that's life, too.
How we're hearing you're doing very well. Jeff Manaski, by the way, in studio, sitting in for a little bit this morning. How is your career as an umpire going?
Well, I'll tell you this. Second year, I am doing some varsity games. The speed of the game is quicker. You guys know I'm tough on myself, but I'm adjusting, and it's still fun. I love it.
Parents a little more critical at the varsity level, or coaches even? Let me say managers maybe.
Not necessarily, and I will say this too, and maybe I'm being unfair here, but I'm just being honest. I've had to travel quite a bit to I don't know I've had to travel, so it's more. I've had games in more rural areas, and I don't know if there's a difference between maybe rural areas and maybe like right here, southern central Oneida County.
Yeah.
If it's so, no, I think the parents and the coaches have been fair.
Are the rural parents better, or are they
more
worse?
laid back?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying maybe it's a calmer atmosphere.
So the rural parents are less.
I hang on. Let me hold on.
Is it something like
I've only had games in rural areas.
Oh, okay.
For the varsity. So that's my only experience there.
So in a rural area, would it be like, on your way out, I'm gonna kill you?
No, not
That's
at all.
okay. Just walk real slow to your parking lot there.
Good luck getting to your car. Something like that.
That's all right. We'll forgive you.
Well, you'll find out. So if you haven't done any big Class A games or Double A games yet.
No, and I don't expect that I would second year, which is good. It's still.
But I got to tell you, the quality of baseball. Sometimes you can get a team that's a Class D school, and they could compete with a Class AA school.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of that has to do with when you get up to A and AA and the bigger schools. I think your depth of pitching is usually a thing, whereas a lot of times the smaller schools will have maybe one phenomenal pitcher,
right?
And they're trying to pitch him every game and to place it, and then you get towards playoffs and you can't, right?
Yeah, and he's also the shortstop and the best hitter.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So what are you going to do? Is that my number? You want me out?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. And then I was going to say, so I'm not going to have a lot of time to talk about this. We'll talk more with Manaski next hour, but I started watching last night. My wife and I started watching Baby Reindeer.
What is that?
It's a Netflix series that's awesome. It's like disturbingly awesome. I'll say that.
What, Baby Reindeer?
Yes.
And it's about Don't tell me it's about baby reindeer.
It is
No, not even close.
And I learned that it is not about baby reindeer. We'll talk about it coming up, but it is, well, let's just say that from the beginning of the episode, I had no idea where I was going, to where we are right now. I kind of feel like it might be bad. We'll get to it coming up.
Country is coming back to the Stanley Theater. Thursday, June 20th. Don't miss Rodney Atkins.
These are my people.
Kick off summer with Rodney Atkins, June 20th at the Stanley Theater. Tickets are on sale now. Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org or Ticketmaster.com.
Caught up in the country.
Curtis Lumber's Customer Appreciation Days are back. For 3 days only, May 2nd through May 4th, Curtis Lumber will pay the sales tax on your purchase. Not sure what you need for your project? Buy a gift card and Curtis Lumber will load the sales tax amount onto the card as a bonus. For details and in-store specials, visit curtislumber.com/customer appreciation. Enjoy tax-free savings May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at Curtis Lumber.
Step into spring with Adirondack Home Furniture and quality furniture that's sure to enhance any living space. Whether it be for your great room, your new home office, or outside patio, Adirondack Home Furniture has your style. From modern to farmhouse, rustic to transitional, handcrafted pieces that are totally customizable and are built for enduring use. Beautiful sofas and reclining furniture from Flex Steel, designer fabrics and top brand leathers. With free local delivery and a knowledgeable staff, you'll have your dream home in no time. Adirondack Home Furniture has a large line of quality USA-made furniture from top manufacturers. Our salespeople are non-commissioned, which means you enjoy a relaxing, non-stressful experience. So stop in today to Adirondack Home Furniture for living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and home office. You'll find everything you need for your dream home. Adirondack Home Furniture at Riverside Center in North Utica or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Create the home of your dreams with Adirondack Home Furniture.
Welcome to New York's newest hospital, the Wynn Hospital. Nationally recognized programs for heart and stroke care, sophisticated and innovative treatments and intervention by renowned medical experts, all while providing education in the community to prevent disease. The Wynn Hospital, inspiring better health with a commitment to our community. This is for you. At MVHS, our team members fell in love with care long ago. Their lives were changed, and their world has been expanding ever since, in respect, compassion, knowledge, and ability. And it's only just begun, because fueling the future of care starts here at the Wynn Hospital. Local care on a whole new level. The Wynn Hospital. Unwavering commitment and compassion. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you.
Just admit it, you love yard sales. But only one thing beats driving around looking for them: attending the world's largest yard sale. Great news, it's back and bigger than ever before. Who thought it could even get bigger? The world's largest yard sale is coming to the Herkimer County Fairgrounds on Saturday, June 8th. This is your chance to sell your stuff to the thousands who attend the world's largest yard sale. It sure beats putting up your own yard sale signs all around town and hoping for a crowd. At the world's largest yard sale, all you have to do is get a booth and you get to keep all the profit on everything you sell. Cha-ching! Hurry and reserve your booth today because it's filling up quickly at a record pace. The world's largest yard sale, Saturday, June 8th at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Brought to you by the Potting Shed Antiques, John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories, and sponsored by James Mitsubishi, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. For more information, download this station's app or check out our website.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It's a similar scene on college campuses across America. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Not a penny, not a dollar. Not a penny, not a dollar. No more money for Israel's slaughter.
That's the protest at George Washington University in Washington, D.C., with more arrests at another campus.
This happened this morning at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia.
Police were seen removing pro-Palestinian protesters after threatening to arrest anybody who did not leave the school when school officials said they worried the situation would become unsafe.
That's Fox's Steve Ducey. At UCLA in California, pro and anti-Israel demonstrators clashed in dual rallies. And now to New York City.
Over the weekend, the Columbia student protesters claimed that the university was about to come down hard on the students and the encampment, forcing Columbia to come out publicly to deny this, which led to reported celebrations from the anti-Israel protesters.
That's Fox's Brian Yennis. Launching airstrikes overnight on Rafah, Israelis killed at least 22 Palestinians, half of them women and children, as Israel prepares a ground offensive there to root out more Hamas militants. President Biden again urged Israel's leaders in a phone call yesterday that could lead to a humanitarian catastrophe. And also, Secretary of State Antony Blinken now in Saudi Arabia.
We strongly support Israel in its effort to ensure that what happened on October 7th never happens again.
However, the Secretary of State says they need a ceasefire.
We are determined to do everything we can to bring an end to the terrible human suffering that we're seeing every single day in Gaza.
This as the Iran-backed Houthi militants continue to target shipping in and around the Red Sea. The U.S. destroyed 5 more drones fired from Yemen. There is a lot of tornado devastation being cleaned up from Nebraska to Oklahoma. At least 4 people were killed in that state, including a baby. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
All right, who's there for heroes or their families left behind when a service member or a first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? Who helps our country's homeless vets? I'll tell you who. It's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org, the letter T, number 2, letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
There's a new CNN poll former President Trump likes, posting on Truth Social. Good poll numbers from CNN of all places. It gives him a 6-point lead over President Biden ahead of their 2024 rematch. When you factor in Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and 2 other independent candidates, it's a 9-point Trump lead. The former president also wrote the legal cases against him he blames President Biden for are a factor in the polls, again calling it election interference. It's an off day at the first Trump criminal trial in New York.
Tomorrow morning, Michael Cohen's banker will be back on the stand testifying here at Manhattan Criminal Court. His banker will be back on the stand testifying about setting up that shell company in which Michael Cohen used to pay Stormy Daniels. The witness, Gary Farrow, testified about that on Friday. His appearance kind of sets the stage and begins the foundation to preview Michael Cohen's eventual testimony.
Fox's Eric Shawn. The former president is charged with falsifying records, repaying Cohen in the attempt to silence Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election about an alleged affair. On Wall Street, stock futures have been rising modestly after gains last week, the best week of the year for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. In the NBA playoffs, the Suns are swept away.
That's it. The Timberwolves complete the sweep. They win a playoff series for the first time in 20 years.
The final call on TNT. Minnesota beat and knocked Phoenix out 122-116. The LA Clippers got even with Dallas, taking game 4, 116-111. New York top Philadelphia 97-92. Indiana 126, Milwaukee 113. So the Knicks and the Pacers lead their series in the NBA playoffs 3-1. On the ice, the Capitals also swept away.
Panarin. Score!
That gave the Rangers a lead, and then they added an empty net goal. New York beat and eliminated Washington 4-2 on MSG. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now we're at 55 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls for all your mobile home needs. It's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. 4 students at Cornell University have been suspended following Gaza war protests last week. A group of pro-Palestinian demonstrators set up an encampment on the Arts Quad on the school's campus last Thursday. The Cornell Daily Sun reports the students who failed to vacate the area after 8 p.m. are temporarily barred from classes for failing to follow various university policies. The Cornell protest was one of many similar rallies related to the war between Israel and Hamas that have been happening largely at college campuses across the country this month. Utica police arrested a man on drug charges. It happened on Wednesday. Utica police with the Special Investigations Unit conducted a stop relative to an ongoing sale and distribution of narcotics. During the stop, Bradley Iannone of New Hartford was detained. During the course of the search, methamphetamine and fentanyl were located. At the conclusion of the investigation, he was charged with criminal sale of a controlled substance in the 3rd degree and criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 3rd, 4th, and 7th degree. State police have announced the death of a 90-year-old. State police responded to the scene on State Route 28 in the town of Herkimer in Herkimer County for a 3-car personal injury accident last week. An investigation revealed a vehicle being operated by 90-year-old Doris Polzinski from Herkimer was traveling north on State Route 28 when she slowed down to pull into her driveway. Another vehicle operated by 40-year-old Greta Elliott of Mohawk rear-ended Polzinski's vehicle. Polzinski's vehicle was then pushed into oncoming traffic and collided with a third vehicle operated by 36-year-old Sharon Kupiak of Newport, New York. Doris Polzinski was transported by ambulance to Little Falls Hospital and later to Albany Med, where she succumbed to her injuries. She was pronounced dead on April 25th. State police are still investigating the circumstances surrounding the incident. An Oneida County man is facing 8 counts of animal abuse. Those charges stem from when 4 dogs were seized from the man's Deansboro property. On April 26th, 51-year-old Brian Bridge was arrested for offenses stemming from an incident in April of 2021. Following the investigation, Bridge was additionally charged with criminal contempt, and that's according to the Oneida County Sheriff's Office. 2 of the dogs were in such bad shape, officials with the CNY SPCA did not think they'd make it through the night. And an Amazon semi-trailer has been damaged after colliding with a bridge in Syracuse over the weekend. Police were called to the scene on Park Street just after 11 a.m. Saturday. Authorities say the truck was heading east when the top of the trailer slammed into the span. No injuries were reported, and officials did not mention any serious damage to the bridge. There was a similar accident on Friday when a box truck hit the Onondaga Lake Parkway Bridge. It's 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Their leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. We'll see a slight chance of rain showers this morning, patchy fog, and then otherwise cloudy skies. Highs will be in the upper 60s. We'll see rain and thunderstorms overnight, lows in the low 50s. Then tomorrow, rain showers and thunderstorms. Some of the storms could produce heavy rain. We'll see highs in the low 70s. Then by Thursday, we'll see some sunshine, highs in the low 70s. Right now, we're at 55 under cloudy skies. WIBX 950 news time, 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The 2024 NFL Draft is in the books. The Giants started things off by adding a big-time playmaker in the first round. They took LSU wide receiver Malik Neighbors. The Jets selected Penn State offensive tackle Olu Fashanu for their first pick. And the Buffalo Bills did some trading to get additional picks, but ended up taking a wide receiver in the as their first pick in the draft. Not the one originally people thought they wanted, but nonetheless, they did get a wide receiver. The Knicks hold a commanding lead in their best-of-7 first-round series against the 76ers after earning a 97-92 win in Game 4 at Wells Fargo Center. Jalen Brunson led all scorers after recording a playoff career-high 47 points. He dished out 10 assists for a double-double. OG Anunoby also recorded a double-double with 16 points and 14 rebounds. New York is now leading the series 3-1 and will look to close things out when they host the Sixers in Game 5 tomorrow at MSG. Meanwhile, the Rangers became the first team to advance to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs after sweeping the Capitals. The Blue Shirts topped the Caps 4-2 in Game 4 from Capital One Arena last night. They will take on the winner of the Islanders-Hurricanes series, which is currently at 3-1. The Mets salvaged their series finale against the Cardinals after walking off with a 4-2 victory in 11 innings at Citi Field. They are still in third in the NL East at 14-13, and the Yankees blew out the Brewers 15-5 in their series finale at American Family Field. That was 2 nights in a row they did such thing. Ron Marinaccio was credited with the victory after allowing 1 run over an inning and a third of relief. Anthony Volpe, Anthony Rizzo, and Aaron Judge all homered for the Yankees. They'll now have a really big test. It's going to be a great 4-game matchup as they take on the Baltimore Orioles. They are 1 game up on the Orioles right now. The Yankees are leading the AL East at 19-10. WIBX 950 News Time, 7-11 Sports, brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors.
Davey, hold on.
So you would like this, Bill. On Saturday night, I was flipping through the channels and I watching Game 3 of the the Bruins and Maple Leafs on TBS for Turner Sports.
All right.
A familiar voice who used to work here at WIBX was the play-by-play announcer.
Klingsdale?
Nope.
Jim Jackson?
Jim Jackson.
Oh, Jim Jackson was.
Yeah.
He's not doing the Flyers anymore?
Well, the Flyers are out.
I
so
see.
He's doing the national coverage for Turner Sports.
Okay, for them.
Yep.
That's really cool.
It was awesome. He said Jim Jackson, along with I don't know who the broadcast partner was, but it was awesome to hear him do a hockey game.
Well, Jim is awesome, right?
Jim Jackson and some other guy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who the other guy
just
was.
teasing, Smitty.
Well, Jim is really good. I mean, he's won Emmy Awards and the whole 9 yards. And
nice to meet you, other guy.
And it shows you how radio is. And to think that he walked into the production room when he was doing the games over at WTLB, and he said, "I think I'm gonna throw it in. I'm going nowhere. I've been trying to get a gig in the NHL, and it looks like nothing is happening." He was looking at Major League Baseball, and he's like, "I just can't make a go of it. It's married now. I got to." I think at that point he might have had a child, and he's like, I think I'm going to take the big job at National Grid, because his family, his in-laws, had great ties to National Grid.
Wow.
So
I did not know
he
that.
was ready to, and then he got the call. Who was it from New Jersey? Lou Amarillo. Is that right, Davey? Did I get that right?
Lou Amarillo at the time was the general manager of the Devils.
So the phone call came. I believe that was the first phone call. I forgot how it all went down, and maybe he wasn't the one who called, but nonetheless, ultimately ended up in the NHL. And look at the history.
Wow, yeah.
But it just shows you can only wait, and you see that in Hollywood too, where you're going to be an actor, and you just can't live in an apartment anymore in New York City or in LA while your family is somewhere else. And it's just like I guess I got to give up on this dream.
Yeah.
But maybe you give up just one step too early.
Yeah.
It shows you.
Think of all the times it's happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they had asked me to become president of the United States shortly after I took the... No, probably not. Did I have to say no?
Sorry, I can't.
Did I have to say that's not true? That's not true. Did I need to say that? Probably
I don't know.
Well, they don't usually ask you, right? You usually ask them.
You're right. That's a good point. At Steve Ponte Mazda, their Move to Mazda sales event is back and underway. Drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-30 select sport model for only $275 per month on a 36-month lease, or you can save with low APR financing, 0%, 1.9%, 2.9%, or 3.9% on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See Steve Ponte Mazda for details. And as they say, let's make your deal on a new Mazda. That's Rick from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. My personal experience there is Just great customer service. They just take care of you. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. I have a great story that I want Manaski to get into because he is a parent.
Okay.
See, how old is your kid now?
He's 8.
8 years ago, we couldn't say that, and now we can. But this is a great story about a woman who has been charged with sexual battery. And I'm not quite sure, but I might be with her in this story. Okay? And we talked about Baby Reindeer.
What's the Baby Reindeer
series
thing?
on Netflix. Andrew, how would you describe it without giving away too much? Is it a limited series? How many episodes are there?
Yeah, it's only one season. I think there's maybe 6 or 7 episodes.
Okay, all right.
And essentially...
But you say it is mind-blowing at the end.
Yeah, in the middle and then at the end.
Yeah. It's already...
It's on Netflix? All right,
it's
I gotta watch this.
already uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling the discomfort.
Oh,
after
you'll
one
feel
episode.
it. Oh, you're gonna feel it.
Okay.
If you just when you thought you couldn't feel more uncomfortable, you get uncomfortable.
The only thing I have to say is why did he hit except when she had friend requested him?
Why do any of us ever do that?
But I'm wondering, do you think that was because he thought that maybe there could be some controversy?
There was a sympathetic element to it.
I'm almost thinking there was some controversy and there were headlines, and he thought maybe he could become a part of a headline and it would help his comedy career.
There is a lot of different motivating factors that you haven't even been introduced to.
Okay. All right. Oh, boy. And there is that sympathy factor.
A big one.
Yeah.
Look,
a very, very large one.
For guys, there's usually just one motivating factor. I mean,
not
why did he hit accept?
Not in this case. Not in this case.
Okay.
You'll see exactly what we mean. Let me go to Mike in Skyler. Hello, Mike. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yep, just got back to New York. I was in Florida. I come back to New York and Jeff's back on the radio, right?
Yeah. And Manaski's back. Boom.
Yeah.
Just for 10 minutes, though.
Yeah.
He can only handle it in little dollops. Yeah.
Yeah. So, right before I went to Florida, I went to the Bruce Springsteen concert.
Yes. Yeah.
That was phenomenal. That show was unbelievable, and he did great. Did 28 songs.
Wow.
They had a nice tribute for Clarence Clemens in there with because he was the big saxophone player that passed away. But great show. And it was pretty. I think it looked like it was sold out. I mean, the seats were filled throughout the whole stadium.
So, did you see? We talked about the kid that he was playing the harmonica with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was like a little 5-year-old at the. I don't know why you'd bring a 5-year-old to a Springsteen concert, but maybe he's into Springsteen, and
we saw it on the screens. You could see, and it was kind of neat how he engaged with the audience. He went in there and he did. That's right.
So you ultimately loved the show.
Yeah, it was a great show. I never seen him before. This is the first time I've ever seen him. And he couldn't, he did great. And then I went to Florida. I was in Vero Beach, Palm Coast. I couldn't believe I'm out in Florida, and watching the Yankee games. And Tampa was here at the time. They were playing here in New York.
Okay, all right, that's
when
cool.
I was out there. I couldn't believe it. How about you guys talk about Aaron Boone got thrown out of the game?
Yes, because of a fan.
5 pitches.
Yeah, it was a fan. It wasn't even there, but I could not. I wonder if there's any repercussions for that umpire.
Mike's call today is a lot like that letter you get from the distant cousin at Christmas time. It's like, and Joni and I were off to a great cruise. We had a wonderful time.
We had a great dinner.
Bobby's going to law school. And,
Yeah, funny.
I did see that, by the way. I don't think there should be a repercussion for the umpire.
Well, you being an umpire,
you're on team umpire
opinion.
now. You're a sellout. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, he didn't know. The umpire thought it came from.
Right, he thought.
And
right?
isn't there a rule where the home team has to control the fans.
Well, usually, okay, so like for instance at the high school level, and Sal's going to kill me because I'm going to forget what the exact term is, but basically, you know, the person in charge of the field. So if there is a problem, or fans or coaches or players or someone's out of hand, the umpire could say, you know, the game is suspended until, and you go to this person, whoever's in charge, until you address this situation.
I see.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
And then
obviously the
I
home
imagine
team.
if it isn't, I told you I had a stay with us, Mike.
Uncle Mike.
I had a situation where I was calling a Downsville. This is back in the 80s. I was like in my 20s. I was calling a Downsville, I believe it was Westmoreland game, football game. And the referees made a very controversial call. Right or wrong, I don't even remember. But if you're from Dallasville, and Dallasville just lost, and I'm going to tell you, Dallasville, even today, is a dynasty when it comes to high school football.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, they'd won like at the Dome 3 or 4 years in a row, and Westmoreland and Dallasville had become a really big rivalry. And the call was made on the field, and everybody thought it was a bad call. And you can imagine as the referees were leaving, game over, the referees are leaving. It was unbelievable. The fans, of course, are livid. And, you know, it's that trip from the field to your car.
What are they doing?
But listen, the PA announcer went on the mic and was like, "That was a terrible call. You completely blew the game. Good luck getting to your car."
Wow.
He said that.
Right?
Oh, my God.
That is, look, and you wonder why people don't want to be involved
I know.
anymore.
I mean, this
right?
was 35 years ago, so.
That's
the funny thing is, you watch it live, and then afterwards, because of course you go on YouTube, and then you can actually, because you see the full exchange.
Well, back then there was no YouTube back then, so you know you
but
were.
now it's looking at that, like it was funny because Aaron Boone kept saying, "I didn't say anything. And the umpire says, "You're probably right, Aaron." But, you know, they can't reverse the decision because you're probably right.
Yeah, can you imagine an umpire throws him out of the game, and then what has he got to do? A hand gesture to bring him back? I'm sorry, it's my fault. You're back in the game.
Yeah. So what's he going to do? All right, Michael, you have welcome back. You have a wonderful, and you're coming back just when temperatures are really starting to warm up here.
I know, and the weather was great out there the whole time.
Oh, I'll bet. So,
tell the family we said hi.
You have fun. That's right. Tell Aunt Elsa that we're happy about Bobby going to law school. Okay. Thank you, Mike. Okay.
You know, little Jimmy became an Eagle Scout, too. You heard.
That's true also. All right, I got a break. I think, Davey, we're going to bump the, well, maybe not. Let's see. What's the topic? Is it really true? Maybe we'll grab him. At 7:25.
Especially with all this going on, getting into election season.
Let me break. Coming up, there's a guy who his name is Mitchell Levy. He is a global credibility expert and has done several TEDx presentations. Is it true how to separate fact from fiction today? That isn't easy. Right?
We need it.
We'll get into that. Coming up here, WIBX.
Get ready. It's truck season at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, and these deals won't last long. Test drive the 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4x4. Lease it for $489 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or take advantage of the purchase offer with a $6,000 rebate or rates as low as 0.9%. Or the 2024 Equinox LS all-wheel drive. Lease it for only $359 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or purchase it with a $2,000 rebate and rates as low as 1.9%. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevy. Customers must qualify top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offer on select models. Lease offer must have select model current lease through GM Financial. Finance offer must have 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. See salesperson for details. Must take delivery by April 30th, 2024. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, Route 28 in Herkimer, or at StevePawneeChevy.com.
Ready for a smoother, safer ride? Look to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Let Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair get your vehicle ready for spring. Visit Tallman's to get your free alignment check and take advantage of their spring tire rotation and 4-wheel balance special for only $39.99. Get the snow tires off now and save with an instant rebate on Bridgestone and Firestone tires in April, up to $100 off. Visit them in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or schedule an appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
Before you buy or take delivery of a bed where you can pick a number on each side and pick the firmness, compare to the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. Compare price, compare warranty, compare features. No appointment necessary.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. That is Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. That is Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
You know, you're looking at, well, maybe it's the news, or what you think is the news. It's a meme that's been sent to you.
A video meme? Or
what's true? What did Trump really say that? Did Biden just say that? It becomes very, very difficult these days to determine what's real and what isn't real. Mitchell Levy is a global credibility expert and TEDx presenter, and he's on the line right now. Mitchell, good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
How do we know you're really Mitchell Levy?
Well, first you have to pronounce my last name Levy, and then I might actually say, it could be me.
Touche. That was a good comeback. My apologies. All right. So, Mr. Levy, I will tell you that the problem with this is that Levy here, Wayne Levy, former PGA golfer, pronounces it Levy. So that's why we'd make that mistake. My apologies.
Oh, that's really okay. There are 3 ways to pronounce it, and inevitably someone will get it wrong. So I'm really okay. Thanks.
So tell me, how do we? It's so hard today, and I wonder if it's hard today. What's it going to be like in 5 years?
Oh, yes. Actually, that's a great question. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
How do you tell? When you're looking at the source, What has been the accuracy of the source in the past? What is their integrity? Have they said things, has the institution or individual said things that have proven to be untrue in the past? And one of the things that's important is to check multiple sources.
Yeah. Multiple legitimate sources, right? And also, if you see a meme or if you see something on Facebook, it's good to go back to the original source and see, is that really on their website?
Yeah.
Oh, it is crazy what's happening, particularly now as we get forward, as you mentioned, as we're looking at deep fakes. What's important is to make sure you have enough friends in your community where you can get multiple points of views. And that's one of the problems with educational systems. If we haven't been taught multiple points, we may not know.
Right. That is a problem certainly today. The other part is you used to be able to rely on video, and even that today we can't rely on.
That is absolutely a downside. The downside being with deep fakes. How do we know now what is fake and what is not? And in our mind, we may want to believe it, but it is worthwhile to ask yourself, is this true? Would this person say that? Like I said, when you're thinking about their integrity, is this in line with who they are and what they've said in the past?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the concept of critical thinking of you as for those who remember the old days, there was a newscaster by the name of Walter Cronkite.
Right.
And when Walter spoke, we thought, hey, this is true. And that was their point, to make it the set of truth. At this stage, because of the democratization of news sources, we need to be our own critical thinkers. And that's not necessarily part of the educational system. So we need to educate ourselves on how best to do that.
It's the originally, the part of the issue is with the deep fakes is you have to go back to the original speech or the original presentation and not really rely so much anymore on somebody else's interpretation or analysis of a statement that was made. But then again, is the validity of the video correct? It's a really dangerous time, I think.
Well, it's nice that what's interesting is when you look at somebody who has a particular point of view and they've sort of changed the meaning of a video, your question is, well, should I continue to watch or pay attention from this person? And the answer is, well, it depends. Because if they're affecting other people and there are people in your world, you need to know who they are and how they're being affected, so that when you talk to other people, you can actually bring those points of view into perspective and come up with, once again, your thought point, your integrity. I think if you go back as a human and you think to yourself, I'm going to be good. What does good mean? Right. And it's the intent and commitment to do good by others, to have that integrity inside and outside of doing the right thing by other humans. And it is hard in today's world because you have such bipolarization from one side to the other.
Yeah, I mean, you'll hear people say, "Oh, of course they think that that's all they watch is they get all their news from MSNBC," or "Of course they feel that way. They only watch Fox." So it is. I think it is essential to, and I really, really try to do this. I try to find. I feel like there's more credibility. Like if there's a positive story, if I look to the source and I find out it's Fox News, I'm like, that's got to be true, right?
Right.
Whereas if it comes from MSNBC, I'm like, well, I'm not sure if I want to trust that. And you find yourself looking around. I almost feel like when a positive story comes from a polar opposite, that is a pretty good indicator, I would think, if the story is real. That's the other part of it.
You know, this conversation is getting me to think. That might be a good rule of thumb. It really depends, though, right?
Yeah.
So I'm almost tempted, but I want to stay focused on you, is to go to ChatGPT or Gemini and actually ask the question, is this true or not? And see what the answer is. But then what happens, and this is what's happening in today's world, is we have this artificial intelligence that really allows us to process a lot of information faster.
Yep.
So that's what people are doing is they now are using AI for that set of processing. And the same is true. What happens is sometimes garbage goes in. And if garbage goes in, and whether or not that's whether or not that's artificial intelligence or whether it's the news channel that you get your information from, sometimes garbage goes in and then it's interpreted in a way that makes sense, and then garbage comes out. And that's what you need to do as a human is think, is this the right thing?
Yeah.
Does this work?
I have a couple quick. Mitchell Levy is a global credibility expert. And question, do you trust Snopes? Are you familiar with it?
I don't know if I know.
Okay, Snopes.com.
Yeah, it's like a fact-checking website.
It's a fact-checking website.
Oh.
You should check that out.
I don't know Snopes yet. I will. Snopes. I don't know Snopes yet.
Yeah, Snopes. It's a go-to for me as when you see something and like, such and such a story true, and they will have done a full investigation, oftentimes showing you both sides and then coming to forming a conclusion. And sometimes that conclusion is they can't figure out one way or the other, which is interesting. Final question for you is, are we going to be playing a game of whack-a-mole where the technology gets better, allowing the fact checkers to get better, but then with that better technology, the deep fakes get better. So it's like this back and forth and a game of whack-a-mole. Is that what we're in for?
I believe you have really hit the nail on the head. There are inconsistencies with who we are as humans and how we show up in the world.
Yeah.
Do we follow religion? Do we not follow religion? Do we follow one Bible versus another? And in this particular case, what technology has allowed us to do is to really increase some of the both good things that happen in society and some of the bad things. And how do you know if it's fake or not? I by the way, thanks to the website, I had not seen it before. I will spend time focusing.
Yeah, check that out. There are a few different services out there, but Snopes is one that's been around for a long time. So, all right, great stuff.
Well, and I just want to let you know, you did mention ChatGPT, and I went there and I typed in, how do you pronounce Levy? And it is typically pronounced as Levy in English.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Meanwhile,
we know that's true.
Does that mean I trained it well?
I think you did. You did. like you say, Mitchell, garbage in, garbage out. So, boom. The reality is the next time I have Wayne Levy on, I'll mistakenly call him Wayne Levy because of you, just for the record. So,
I'll be honored.
Mitchell Levy, thank you so
guys,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it. All right. Interesting stuff, right?
You made the point about critical thinking, which I think is just dramatically on the decline, and it's because of all the AI and all the assistance.
Although I do think in
technology
schools
that we get.
they're requiring that in schools, which I think is important for kids to critically think. And
people just see and believe nowadays, too.
Yeah.
I just want to read this because, God forbid, I don't read it and then he'll have a stroke. Lance and Lee, not likely this will be read today, maybe by Wednesday. Please thank Jeff for keeping the audience engaged while he was an employee of the Keeler Show. I haven't been watching much lately, and it's been good to see him on again. Oh, isn't that a shame?
That makes us feel really good.
Yes,
good.
Thanks.
And Larry says,
you guys must love when I come in, especially when he starts banging
it'll be
away
it'll be the last time. No picture on YouTube. I'm sorry. And
then John from Bridgewater saying, Bill, maybe the umpire doesn't like Judge. I don't know what his comment's referring to there.
Well, listen, I want to talk more about your umpire stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have a few minutes still?
Yeah, I got about maybe 5-10.
All right.
So
we have to do the free money question. All right. I'm going to do that coming up in a second. This story is unbelievable because Jimmy Failla has moved to about 8:10, by the way.
Okay.
So this story I was going to go to is really very interesting, and it's not really an umpire story as much. This is more of the family story. But it's a woman in Utah. Think about this, and maybe you guys, people have an opinion on this. 315-736-0186. A Utah woman is facing sexual battery charges after she pulled down a strange teenager's skirt because she felt it was too short and showing too much cheek.
So this was this person's parent?
No. Here's a clip from a video taken
so
from
she
the
thought
incident.
the skirt was too short, so she said, "We're just going to take it right off."
No,
here."
I don't think she took it off. I think she pulled it. I think she pulled it down lower, so it covered.
I understand.
So
Okay,
it
I see.
covered the aft cheeks, if you will. Here's some audio from the actual clip. I think I have it here.
I happen to work for the state, and if I have to watch your cheeks hanging out again, I will call CPS.
So the woman was arrested and is now facing sexual battery charges.
I think that's ridiculous. Sexual battery?
Yeah, and to me, the butt cheeks should not be showing.
Intent matters so much. So the first thought I had,
although it was at a restaurant, I guess.
When you said sexual battery, the first thought I
was
had,
the
I just
girl?
watched.
Does it say?
It does not say how old, but it must not have been underage. Now I'm thinking about it, though. You're at a restaurant. You're showing. If you are, I guess that is something you're just going to have to look the other way. As long as the restaurant is allowing and it doesn't violate their.
Yeah, because imagine the waiter came over and you're with your significant other and you look and you say you happen to be staring at it. I'll have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of trouble there.
I mean, there are laws on the books about how much you're allowed to.
Depends on where you are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching an Olympics beach volleyball game, I don't think there are any rules. I believe it's.
Right.
I mean, have you seen some of these Olympic outfits? It's kind of hard to say you have public standards when you look at these.
Yeah, it's funny
outfits.
too how we look at. Like if I were wearing. Well, I guess so. Yeah, to some extent. So it's like if you're wearing short shorts, that's one thing. But if you're wearing boxer shorts, that's not appropriate because those are actually your underwear, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But if they're short shorts with no underwear, but like who would it's
right.
It's just one of these.
Right. Somebody came out with their bra. It's like, I'm sorry, you're not allowed in here. But the woman with a bikini is okay.
Right, exactly. That's another thing.
I just think there's a lot of mistakes we make in the world. But at the end of the day, if this restaurant allowed that woman and said, we have a dress code here, and you meet our dress code, they allowed this woman who pulled her pants, the dress down, is in the wrong. She shouldn't be touching another person's clothes.
I don't think to the extent of sexual battery.
Well, I don't know what the charge should be. I don't know.
You could have had a conversation, right? Like, excuse me, could you pull your skirt down a little bit, please?
But even that would be inappropriate. I think.
But it wouldn't. It wouldn't go to the
how
level
about,
of.
How about looking the other way? Or, in my case, looking. Let me see. Let me just tell you.
I'll have to really give an analysis on that.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I just don't think it's that bad. All right. In terms of your umpiring, I have a lot of people asking questions.
Just like at the game. Huh?
Have you had any errors? Have you?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll give you one for example. Okay, so a lot of times
parents are.
This is why I always
listening.
tell the more senior guys that I work with, like, man, I wish I had your 8, 10, 12, 15, 25 years experience.
You wish you did it when he was coming in saying years ago for you to do it.
Yeah. All right. So there is in high school ball, I'll give you an example. A fake tag is illegal. Okay. We all understand what a fake tag is. Mm-hmm. You cannot go and tag a player or pretend to when you don't have the ball. So anytime you look at it, laid out in a textbook, or sometimes you get these little pictures and all the case plays.
And by the way, that is because you don't want them jumping back in or sliding back into second base and hurting themselves.
Yeah, that's
one
part
of the
it.
reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the 100% if that's the reason why, but it's one of those things where, like, in the majors, a fake tag is not illegal, but in high school ball, it is. So it's always an obvious thing, like a guy. Okay, so somebody's stealing second base, and the ball gets by the catcher. So the shortstop comes over and he pretends the ball's coming, right? So then now the kid slides into second.
Right.
Okay. So, well, I had a play where a kid was stealing second base. The throw comes through. It's a short hop. So what he's looking to do is he's looking to pick it and drop his glove immediately, right? Well, he does that. It skips off the top of his glove and goes into center. His glove comes down on the base, and he holds it there on the player. Now, I kind of watch the ball skip into center, and then I kind of backpedal a little bit to get between second and third so that I'm in a better position to make the call if the runner gets up and tries to go to third. Well, the coach for the team that stole, as the play's kind of over, he's like, that's a fake tag. You got to award that. Now the play's kind of over, and I don't know that it's appropriate for me to make the call there. But he was right. He was right. I should have called a fake tag on that.
So but what if?
Because he held the glove on the player, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Which is a play that you would have seen 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but now the rule is you can't do that?
Well, it's been that way for a while. In high school ball. It's been that way. But typically when you think of it, again, it's like the first scenario I gave. The ball gets by the catcher. He pretends to have the ball. He goes to tag him. It's an obvious fake tag situation. In that play, though, the shortstop makes a play on the ball. It hits his glove, skips into center. But the act of him bringing the glove down and then holding it there on the runner.
I'm going to ask a stupid question.
That's to prevent him from running to third?
Correct.
I'm going to ask a stupid question. Could the kid say, I thought I had it? I mean, you would know in your glove that the ball's not in your glove, right?
Right, and I guess he could say that. But
that makes
I felt
it a little
like,
more
and I talked to the
complicated.
other umpire I was with, and he's like, well, what'd you see? And I just laid out the scenario, and he goes, yeah, that's probably a fake tag call.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, every situation I've gone over in a textbook and photos and videos, it's obvious.
Not that situation.
Yeah, it's an obvious situation.
That's a very
Having
interesting
seen
one.
it
There is
that one
always
time
going to
now.
be the intricacies of things. That's a tough
absolutely.
Call. Yeah,
absolutely.
But now, couldn't you have gone to the other ump and talked, and then you come out of your little conference and then
made a determination?
The batter is safe.
I guess we could have if the coach had asked us to. I guess if he had tried to appeal it or something, we would have talked about it.
Does that happen? Can varsity coaches appeal a call
absolutely.
or whatever?
Modified in JV too.
They always go to
you go to the parents. Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Can I see your cell phone thing?
9 parents coming out of the stands with.
We got it.
I have a better view here.
There's I've had a couple one or two calls where they've asked for an appeal. I've been involved, I should say, in 1 or 2 calls where they've asked for an appeal.
I know of one situation where the call was wrong at first base, and a parent came. This is when my son was playing, so it's a long 10 years ago at least. No, it would be probably 15 years ago
at least.
And the parent came out of the stands and was like, I have it right here. And you could clearly see the batter was safe. And the umps are like, nope, they wouldn't even look at it.
Yeah.
Every parent looked at it and were like, what the?
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you.
By the way, that was a playoff and game-ending, season-ending game.
Oh, yeah. That's when it always happens, I feel like.
But what are you going to do? That's the game.
Yeah, and there is no replay at this level, so you don't even look at it.
Even though you have a dozen replay technicians out there in the stands.
Yeah.
It's
no
crazy
replay.
in the minors. So we went to a Syracuse Mets game last year, and that the batter can just challenge a ball or strike in the minors. And they what they do is, the batter will challenge this. Yeah.
Are they limited to the number that they can?
There's probably a limit.
I think there's a limit.
But then they pull it up, and it's the grid, and if it's
is that because they're using the computer?
Yeah, they're using that.
Okay.
Yeah, the basically a digital strike zone. And if the batter doesn't like the call, he just looks at the ump. The ump turns and points, and it's within 3 to 5 seconds.
I got to tell you,
it's quick.
I wonder. I'll leave it at this. I wonder what's going to happen when we go to that. Like yesterday, watching the home plate umpire, I forget who it was, Mets and Cardinals game yesterday. The ump consistently all game long was calling an outside pitch a strike. Just if you came, it was outside according to the box we're looking. It was well outside the box. It didn't even hit the corner, and that was a strike. It was consistently all game long. But I'll bet you that won't be a strike when it's the computers doing it.
Oh no,
that's not going to be a strike
down to the centimeter. Or the,
that's going to change the game of baseball.
But
He was consistent for both teams. It was not like, but so you figured out that you better really reach out there and get that, at least foul that off, because that's going to be a strike.
Did I miss some news that there eventually will be a digital-only strike zone? Because I don't follow what I used to. I think that's the next evolution. Is
minor
that
league
you
is
get maybe
experimenting
3 to 5 opportunities a game to challenge a ball or a strike.
Yeah.
But you'd still have a home plate umpire and all the base umpires.
Yeah, you still would. All right, good stuff. Thanks for coming
Well,
in.
I
Good to
give
see you
Lance
guys.
and Lee one more because he
all
just
right.
loves getting under my skin. 2 years of reading app comments from Jeff, not many complaints from him. Every comment now is a BITCH from new old co-host. If you didn't want the job, why take it? It's only with your comments, Lee, and it's not my main job, so screw you.
Well, it's your main job while you're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's not get too personal.
Have a good day, Lance. I'll see you guys later.
Let's do, Davey, let's do Habaika's free money question of the day. And, Davey, you're looking for caller number what this morning?
You didn't ask me how much.
Oh, how much are we doing today?
100. Yep. It's
So,
Monday.
Coward.
Right. So $100.
It's
and
Monday.
which caller number are you going for?
Caller 7.
All right, great question. Caller 7 for $100. Huh?
I was hanging out with somebody yesterday. They told me you should tell Bill you got your mojo back and do $500 and do $600 on Tuesday, $700 on Wednesday, $800 on Thursday, and $1,000 on Friday.
Well, you'd never get to 1,000 because Habaika would take you out by Friday. All right.
You'd be dead.
All right, $100 and caller 7 right now at 315-736-0186.
Welcome to New York's newest hospital, the Wynn Hospital. Nationally recognized programs for heart and stroke care, sophisticated and innovative treatments and intervention by renowned medical experts, all while providing education in the community to prevent disease. The Wynn Hospital, inspiring better health with a commitment to our community. This is for you. At MVHS, our team members fell in love with care long ago. Their lives were changed, and their world has been expanding ever since. In respect, compassion, knowledge, and ability. And it's only just begun. Because fueling the future of care starts here at the Wynn Hospital. Local care on a whole new level. The Wynn Hospital. Unwavering commitment and compassion. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you.
Brunch at Babes is the only way to spend your weekend. Bottomless mimosas, Bloody Mary flights, classic breakfasts, and some new instant classics. Boozy brunch at Babes Saturday and Sundays from 9 to 2. Breakfast quesadillas, loaded avocado toast. Babes is open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner with boozy brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Visit us at babesutica.com.
Making my way straight to Babes.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
Gold is setting new record highs. So where do you purchase gold even for your IRA? Don't believe paid celebrity hype to buy gold. Call me, Dr. Mike Fulgens, America's gold expert at Universal Coin and Bullion. I've advised attorneys general and the FTC on consumer protections. I don't add ridiculous markups so you won't overpay. Call Dr. Fulgens to buy gold safely and easily by dialing pound 250 on your mobile phone and saying Gold Expert. That's pound 250 and say Gold Expert.
Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it's time for Hobica's free money question of the day. And this morning, it is worth $100. Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, 315-724-1600 is the number. And for all of your legal needs, 315-724-1600. John is on now in Utica. Hey, John, good morning.
Morning.
You ready to go, John?
I hope so.
All right. You know it's worth $100. And here is your question. I got to make sure I've got all these things up right. Is that right, Andrew? Okay, I'm good. Here's your question. Taylor Swift just tied Jay-Z with her new album, Tortured Poets. It is her 14th album hitting the Billboard Hot 100 #1 spot. 14. The Beatles hold the all-time record. How many number ones do they have? Ready, go.
21.
Is the answer 21? That's a really good guess.
Was it close?
It is close. 19 is the Beatles record. So that was a good grab, good guess. It's worth the food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card from Mohawk Valley Green, the Comets food provider, whether it's Taylor and the cook, not Taylor Swift. Aquavino, Babes, which by the way is our Thursday. What do we call that on Thursdays, Davey?
Seize the deal.
Seize the deal. You get a great deal and a great price, like 50% off.
Nice.
With the Babes, and they do brunches as well on Sundays. Plus the 72 Tavern and Grill, et cetera, et cetera. So stand by. Davey's going to hook you up, okay?
My home away from home on Sundays.
All right. Thank you, John.
Really quickly before I get anyone else PO'd. Dick in Deerfield, wow, a global expert who's never heard of Snopes. That's hard to believe, referring to our earlier guest.
I was very surprised by that. I mean, Snopes has been around forever.
Yeah, most people know what it is.
even is used sometimes when people say, you better Snope that. At least I've said that. Maybe nobody
Sue
else
in
says.
Utica, wow, you stepped on Davey's last nerve with the teaser of more money for the trivia question. Yikes.
Yeah, Davey went wild there. Giving away $1,000. How did that happen? All right, what do you want me to do here, Andrew? I can keep going.
5750.
5750. All right, I do want to tell you that it lasted briefly, but wasn't yesterday morning just beautiful?
Yeah, it was
The sun
nice.
was shining. It was like 72 degrees. It was actually a little warmer than I could handle. And it lasted not for too long. But while it lasted, it was wonderful.
It was nice while it lasted.
Good to see that spring is on the way here. Got a break. We have news next.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be back-breaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-737-9944. That's 1-800-737-9944. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-737-9944. That's 1-800-737-9944.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Hello, Utica. This is Carrie Palaio, Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. I'm really excited to introduce more fantastic new businesses that have recently become a part of our thriving community. Be sure to support our new businesses and our local economy.
Like Elevate Networks, 55 Oriskany Boulevard, Utica Auction House, 1700 Oriskany Boulevard, and Homestead Funding Corporation, 1707 Oriskany Boulevard.
Please join the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce in welcoming these new businesses. Here we grow again.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Death and destruction in Oklahoma. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
See it on TV, other places, and you feel bad for those people, but you really don't know it till it's you, till it hits you.
He and many other home and business owners don't have much left in the city of Sulphur, one of several areas twisted apart by weekend tornadoes. Fox Weather's Brandy Campbell's there.
Where we are, at least one person was killed in a bar with several people also trapped inside. 2 more lives were taken in Holdenville, one being a 4-month-old baby, and a 4th person killed on I-35 near Marietta. The damage spans across 12 counties here in Oklahoma.
There's also a death amid the storm damage in Iowa. Parts of Nebraska also have tornado destruction. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken's in Saudi Arabia before another trip to Israel for talks.
The only thing standing between the people of Gaza and a ceasefire is Hamas.
This after Israel hit Rafah with airstrikes, killing at least 22 Palestinians ahead of a planned ground invasion going after Hamas militants. But Blinken hopes that doesn't happen.
In the absence of a plan to ensure that civilians will not be harmed, we can't support a major military operation in Rafah.
This is the anti-Israel protests rage on American college campuses. That's at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. Police made arrests this morning at Virginia Tech, and 4 police officers were injured at demonstrations in New Orleans. In California,
a pro-Israel rally went off as scheduled here at UCLA, but it was met with counter-protesters who came to demonstrate in support of an ongoing pro-Palestinian encampment on campus. Eventually, some, quote, physical altercations broke out after one of the groups breached a barrier designed to keep the 2 protests separate.
Fox's Christina Coleman. Former President Trump posted on Truth Social this morning, "Stop the protests." A new CNN poll gives him a 6-point lead over President Biden, a 9-point Trump edge, factoring in independent candidates. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
We mentioned that new CNN poll giving former President Trump a 6-point lead over President Biden ahead of their 2024 rematch. The former president will not be in court today. It's an off day at his first criminal trial in New York. Same thing Wednesday when he will campaign in Michigan and Wisconsin. Over the weekend, he met with one of his former opponents.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has apparently agreed to bury the hatchet with his former rival in the GOP presidential primary, Donald Trump. Sources telling the New York Post that the two met in Miami Sunday to discuss what DeSantis can do to help Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. Reports say DeSantis has agreed to hit the campaign trail for the former president. Insiders also telling the New York Post that Governor DeSantis would help with fundraising, tapping his donor network to raise money for the general election against President Biden. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Today, Vice President Harris will go campaign in Atlanta, touting the Biden economic agenda. On Wall Street, stock futures rising, coming off the best week of the year for the NASDAQ, surging up more than 4%. In the NBA, Minnesota sweeps Phoenix out of the playoffs with a 122-116 Game 4 win. The Timberwolves advance to the second round for the first time in 20 years. In other games,
behind a career playoff high 47 points from Jalen Brunson, the Knicks beat the 76ers in Philadelphia 97-92 to take a 3-1 lead. The Clippers, who led the Mavericks by 31 points in the first half Sunday, watched Dallas come all the way back to take the lead before the Clippers regained control and held off Dallas 116-111 to even their series 2 games apiece. Without both Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard because of injuries, the Milwaukee Bucks fell behind 3-1 against the Indiana Pacers. Miles Turner scored 29 points Sunday. Indiana beat Milwaukee 126-113.
That's Fox's Jared Max. On the ice, the New York Rangers completed a sweep of the Washington Capitals. Colorado, Edmonton, and Vancouver were also winners last night. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. Still in the mid-50s under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Abruscany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth a trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. State police have announced the death of a Herkimer woman. Troopers were called to the scene on State Route 28 in the town of Herkimer last week for a 3-car personal injury accident. The investigation revealed a vehicle operated by 90-year-old Doris Polzinski from Herkimer was traveling north on State Route 28 when she slowed down to pull into her driveway. Another vehicle operated by 40-year-old Greta Elliott of Mohawk rear-ended Polzinski's vehicle. Her vehicle was then pushed into oncoming traffic, colliding with a third vehicle operated by 36-year-old Sharon Kupiak from Newport. Doris Polzinski was transported by ambulance to Little Falls Hospital and later to Albany Med, where she succumbed to her injuries. She was pronounced dead on Thursday. State police are still investigating the incident. Utica Police on Thursday, with the Special Investigations Unit, conducted a stop relative to the ongoing sale and distribution of narcotics. During the stop, Bradley Iannone of New Hartford was detained, and during the course of the search, methamphetamine and fentanyl were located. At the conclusion of the investigation, Iannone was charged with criminal sale of a controlled substance in the 3rd degree, criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 3rd, 4th, and 7th degree. 4 students at Cornell University have been suspended following Gaza war protests last week. A group of pro-Palestinian demonstrators set up an encampment on the Arts Quad on the school's campus last Thursday. The Cornell Daily Sun reports the students who failed to vacate the area after 8 p.m. are temporarily barred from classes for failing to follow various university policies. The Cornell protest was one of many similar rallies related to the war between Israel and Hamas that have been happening largely at college campuses across the country this month. An Amazon semi-trailer has been damaged after colliding with a bridge in Syracuse over the weekend. Police were called to the scene on Park Street just after 11 a.m. Saturday. Authorities say the truck was heading east when the top of the trailer slammed into the span. No injuries were reported, and officials did not mention any serious damage to the bridge. There was, however, a similar accident on Friday when a box truck hit the Onondaga Lake Parkway Bridge. And NASA says April's full moon and the Lyrids meteor shower will both happen this week. The April full moon is known as the pink moon and will peak today. This is an old story. I apologize. I don't know why.
This was last week, I think.
Last week, yes. Yeah. A new survey.
Don't you remember me saying, did you see that moon?
Yes, the pink moon.
Holy moly.
Oh, boy. And a new survey is ranking the best cities to enjoy marijuana. Lawn Starter found Los Angeles, San Francisco, Vegas, Denver, and New York are the top 5 cities for marijuana tourism, which compared 300 of the biggest U.S. cities.
They say that the cities will change as you're smoking the marijuana. So, for instance, you may hate L.A. as a marijuana city, but the more you smoke, the more it's
enjoyable.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I'd get up.
One of the categories.
I'd get up to leave the city, but I don't want to get out of the chair.
One of the factors that determined where the best cities are to enjoy marijuana is munchie relief.
Okay.
So
and having
wherever
something
the good
open.
food is. Yeah.
Another story that I think that is worthy of talking about is, I don't know if this woman is a Democrat or a Republican. To me, it doesn't matter. She probably should lose her job.
Oh, yeah? What happened?
So the district attorney in Monroe County was on her way home, and she was speeding. Police tried to pull her over, and she refused to pull over, like continued to refuse, to the point where she drove to her home, into her garage, and police followed her there.
Oh, God.
Where there is an interaction. I do have, there's a part 1 and a part 2.
Is this censored now? We got to be careful. We're on delay.
We are, but I think this is okay.
All right.
Let me see if I can get this to play. You have to go through so much. They're making me slide this thing to make it look like it's... Okay, hold on. I'm almost there. The ears match. It's a new way to
verify your identity.
Authenticate. Okay, continue as a guest. This stupid TikTok. Okay, here is the audio.
They're in her home?
God, after all of this, I finally have audio. All right, here's the deal. They were following her, asking her to pull over, and she wouldn't. I'm the DA. It's kind of like that.
I'll do what I want.
In fact, she even says in this clip, that's fine. I'll prosecute myself. I'll be prosecuting myself. Now, I kind of think, why would you be running unless you maybe were under the influence?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the only thing I could think. But here's audio. They followed her to her home, into her garage.
All right, ma'am. So I'm issuing you speed in zone, 55 and a 35.
That's fine. I'll take care of it since I'll be prosecuting myself.
Okay. At the end of the day, if you see my lights and sirens behind you, and obviously they're going off, just pull over. We can have a conversation and be on our way. I kept my eye on your vehicle. I'm not going to check my computer to see what plate it is if a vehicle is not stopping for me. I want to keep my eyes on that vehicle for my safety, so I make it home at the end of the day. Okay?
I apologize, but...
I'm sorry that you had a bad day,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry it went this way, but I do respect what you do. Have a good day, man.
But I would say, here's something I should have called in.
Okay, that's when it should have just ended.
I don't know what she was saying, what her excuse was. But it almost seems like she
Was that the part 2 video?
That is the part 2, yeah. They
okay.
were following her before that. But, she's the DA. How do you expect anybody else to pull over if you, the DA, are not willing to pull over for police?
I thought the cop handled it pretty well, too, because he almost said to her, like, well, okay, listen, I'm not going to...
I think if she wasn't the DA, I wonder if they would have done a breathalyzer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I would have liked to have done a breathalyzer there. But she literally drove into her garage, and the police came in through the door.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting.
What's going to... And by the way, people on the council are... I believe that was Webster Police. Police are asking for... Or people on the council and the public asking for her to step down.
Yes.
See what happens. All right.
Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. For today, we'll see some rain showers this morning, some patchy fog, and cloudy skies the rest of the day. Highs will be near 70. Chance of rain and thunderstorms overnight, cloudy with a low in the low 50s. Showers and thunderstorms could produce heavy rain tomorrow. Highs will be in the lower 70s. It won't be till Thursday that we have mostly sunny skies and highs in the low 70s. But at least the temperatures are taking a more positive turn. 56 now and cloudy at 8:13. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The 2024 NFL Draft is in the books. The Giants started things off by adding a big-time playmaker in the first round, taking LSU wide receiver Malik Neighbors. With the 6th overall pick, the Jets selected Penn State offensive tackle Olu Fashanu with their first pick, and the Bills got a star wide receiver for theirs. So overall, a pretty good draft for the Bills, and it didn't start out that way. It at one point looked like it was going to be a little bit concerning, but ultimately they got it done. The road to the NBA Finals continued on Sunday. The Timberwolves punched their ticket to the Western Conference semifinals with a 122-116 victory over the Suns. The Knicks took down the 76ers 97-92 at the Wells Fargo Center, with Jalen Brunson scoring 47 points to help New York take a 3-1 series lead. The Pacers beat the Bucks 126-113 to take a 3-1 series lead there. And in the West, the Clippers defeated the Mavericks 116-111 in Game 4 to even up that series. The Heat and the Celtics, the Thunder and Pelicans, and the Nuggets will entertain the Lakers. That all happens tonight with 3 contests. The Rangers became the first team to advance to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Blue Shirts took down the Capitals 4-2 in Game 4 to sweep their first round Eastern Conference series. The Avalanche took a 3-1 series lead over the Jets following a 5-1 victory. The Canucks share the same advantage following a 4-3 overtime win against the Predators. The Oilers also enjoying a 3-1 lead after a 1-0 victory over the Kings. And the puck drops for a pair of games on Monday. The Panthers look to eliminate the Lightning in Game 5 from Sunrise, and the Golden Knights eye a 3-1 series lead over the Stars in Game 4. From Vegas, the Carolina Hurricanes also leading the Islanders 3-1. Major League Baseball is planning on updating its much-maligned new uniforms. According to a memo secured by ESPN, bigger lettering on the back of the jerseys will return. Mismatched gray tops and bottoms will be fixed. See-through pants will be remedied, and the trend of the jerseys to collect sweat will be fixed. The updates will happen by at least the start of next season. The MLB Players Association blamed Nike and the release of the company's Vapor Premier uniform for the criticized uniforms instead of jersey manufacturer Fanatics. And the Yankees win, Mets win.
Mets had I know the Yankees had a big win. Mets had a big win in that they got a great pitching performance and a walk-off home run in the 11th inning.
That is true. That is true.
To salvage their 3-game series with the Cardinals. All right, I want to play you this. Over the weekend, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Here is host Colin Jost roasting a very close by President Biden.
I was excited to be up here on stage with President Biden tonight, mostly to see if I could figure out where Obama was pulling the strings from. I have to admit, it's not easy following President Biden. I mean, it's not always easy following what he's saying, But before I begin tonight, can we just acknowledge how refreshing it is to see a president of the United States at an event that doesn't begin with a bailiff saying, "All rise."
Well, I think there was some interesting stuff there, and very interesting stuff with the one and only Jimmy Failla, who will be on our radio program, radio station, this afternoon at 12:15. Jimmy Failla was there, and he's on the line right now. Jimmy, good morning.
My man, I cannot promise you I've sobered up yet, but it's nice to be here. You're going to have to bear with me on this one, Keeler, but it's nice to be back from the swamp.
Yeah.
What a night.
Well, so it was, again, well past Biden's bedtime, but he seemed to, he stayed up.
They shot him up.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, he did fine. I mean, the fact that he got up and walked to the stage in the correct direction, I mean, that alone is a win.
Yeah.
But what they did is they kept his set short, and then Colin went on for a while. And, Colin took some shots at Biden, which was nice. But he also closed on the schmaltziest, my grandpa voted for you because you're a decent man and all of that, a little bit of a pander. But that's what that dinner is. It's a collection of nerds patting themselves on the back for all the fine work they've done. But to be clear, no one did better work than me and the Fox team at the open bar.
I totally can understand and imagine.
You had to walk a long distance to get to said bar, though, right? I mean, they put you in the hallway, didn't they?
Well, I was on the red carpet, but you know what? I spent Friday at the White House. Like, it was crazy. Like, I went Friday to interview Peter Doocy at the White House, and it really is like overwhelming. You're in the same building as Abe Lincoln and Monica Lewinsky. You know, that's a big deal. And we walked around, and they were nice. The Secret Service greeted me with a nice red dot on my forehead, which I thought was a nice welcoming touch. But it was good. It was actually a really good hang, man.
That's funny.
I had to say your hit with Senator Fetterman was excellent. He was, of course, dressed for the occasion.
Isn't that great? So he wears his tuxedo hoodie with a bow tie drawn onto it. But he immediately went in and took a shot. He goes, I can't afford a fancy tux because I don't have gold bars like Bob Menendez. I was like, wow, I know. He went after his fellow Democrat. Fetterman has really won me over because he's like the one Democrat standing up to these bratty college protesters, and he's kind of a cool guy.
Yeah,
he's not a bad, he's not a bad dude.
So you're seeing those protests firsthand in the city. I mean, if you take the right route, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the dumbest thing in the world is I can't imagine, thinking that I was somehow changing the course of a war by camping out on the quad and eating sushi. Yeah, but these people truly do believe they're like a driving force for societal change. They're being laughed at. They're being laughed at from every angle. Two
things that of course my kid is down there amongst all of it, and she's like, first of all, they don't know what they're protesting. Secondly, I got an app alert the other day. They're trying to raise money, and she said the same thing. For what? Sushi and Starbucks. That's all they're eating out there. And here's the other thing that I noticed. These kids clearly are being taught an awful lot in these very high-end colleges, but no one has taught them how to rhyme. None of their chants rhyme. It's unbelievable. Like,
time was you went to these things, you'd hear a good rhyme. I get it.
Yes.
The problem is, no one has taught them anything, Keeler. It's like, if you're actually saying, like, you think about this, and I'll give Bill Maher some credit for this because he called it out over the weekend. He's like, if Israel wanted to commit a genocide, they could. They have the military superiority. They're doing everything they can not to. The other side is literally vowing to wipe Israel off the map, a genocide. Okay, by definition, these are stupid people. Their emotions are their facts. And protesting has become, for a lot of young kids, protesting is like following the Grateful Dead around the country.
I agree.
We have friends who did that.
Yep.
They're like, oh, are you going to climate change in Philly this weekend? And they're like, no, we're going to defund the police in Baltimore. They're like, okay, have fun.
It's like going to a Mo concert. It is. They're all out there. They're doing some semi-legal drugs, and they're
Starbucks.
They're having a party. It's unbelievable. So, what? Any takeaway that blew your mind from the Correspondence Dinner?
I will say this: everybody was super friendly. Like when I walked into the White House, I'd say 80% of the people there knew who I was and were super friendly.
Wow.
I saw Karine Jean-Pierre at a party Friday night. She was awesome. Like actually was funny, even though I don't agree with her on a lot.
Yeah.
I play pretty well in the sandbox, so I had NBC on. I had Lester Holt and Al Roker. I had the cast of The Daily Show on my Saturday night. It was great. So the takeaway was people are capable of being human and cool. They just need a little help right now. Because it got so contentious. Everybody's afraid to not be a snarky jackass to the other side. But that's why the country's a mess. No one likes to admit this. But we are teammates, whether you're Republican or Democrat. We're on the same team. If there's a war tomorrow, we're on the same side. Maybe not the kids at Columbia, but the rest of us are on the same side.
That's a very good point. What has become of us? It's really just
I feel like
unbelievable.
I do feel like a bit the Stern interview, the surprise Stern interview on Friday was
that was
an upstaging of the whole weekend. Do you think?
Well, for some people, but Howard doesn't have the audience to make that relevant anymore.
No.
He was the king of all media. He's now kind of the Prince Harry of all media. There's a lot of whining.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that is a very good, because you know what? Had it not been covered, 99% of America wouldn't have known it even happened.
No, it didn't matter.
It wasn't promoted.
One quick thing about Howard. The reason he hates Trump as much as he does now is Trump upstaged him. Trump was a regular weekly caller to Howard's show.
Yep.
He was on that show for 25 years. Howard has the biggest ego in the history of the media, and he was the one who declared himself the king of all media. Now imagine if you're the self-proclaimed king of all media and a regular caller into your show becomes the most famous human being who's ever lived by media standards. It really burnt his buns. So the only thing he could do was denigrate Trump's success.
Yeah.
So Howard became the thing he hated. He became the very elites that he made his success by mocking. Okay? He's now propping up literally the president and the pharmaceutical companies. Okay? The absolute antithesis of the champion of the little guy. That's what Howard became, which it's sad to watch, but I mean, he doesn't have to care. I mean, he's so rich, he's using people as furniture.
Yeah, it's a completely, if you listen to 20 years ago, it is nothing.
It's a different show.
It
Yeah.
is completely different.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well,
and that's why Biden's there.
But if you rode in a cab 20 years ago and Jimmy was driving, and now you see what he's got on Saturday nights and every single day throughout the world on radio, pretty impressive. Gotta say, moving in the right direction.
Hey, girls, ease up on the compliments. My drug dealer might be listening. I'll owe him a raise.
Jimmy, as always, you're wonderful. We love watching Saturday nights. Of course, we'll hear you today from noon till 3 right here and on stations around the country and around the world and here on WIBX.
You're the best, Bill. See you guys.
Thanks
Take
so
care.
much.
All right, Jimmy.
Jimmy Failla, who was really entertaining on his show covering the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night.
He's just loving it. He's having fun, and he's getting better with each show.
Got a break. We'll come right back. It's 8:25 at WIBX.
Gold is setting new record highs. So where do you purchase gold even for your IRA? Don't believe paid celebrity hype to buy gold. Call me, Dr. Mike Fulgens, America's gold expert at Universal Coin and Bullion. I've advised attorneys general and the FTC on consumer protections. I don't add ridiculous markups so you won't overpay. Call Dr. Fulgens to buy gold safely and easily by dialing pound 250 on your mobile phone and saying Gold Expert. That's pound 250 and say Gold Expert.
Before you buy or take delivery of a bed where you can pick a number on each side and pick the firmness, compare to the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. Compare price, compare warranty, compare features. No appointment necessary.
Just admit it, you love yard sales. But only one thing beats driving around looking for them: attending the world's largest yard sale. Great news, it's back and bigger than ever before. Who thought it could even get bigger? The world's largest yard sale is coming to the Herkimer County Fairgrounds on Saturday, June 8th. This is your chance to sell your stuff to the thousands who attend the world's largest yard sale. It sure beats putting up your own yard sale signs all around town and hoping for a crowd. At the world's largest yard sale, all you have to do is get a booth and you get to keep all the profit on everything you sell. Cha-ching! Hurry and reserve your booth today because it's filling up quickly at a record pace. The world's largest yard sale, Saturday, June 8th at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Brought to you by the Potting Shed Antiques, John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories, and sponsored by James Mitsubishi, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. For more information, download this station's app or check out our website.
Get ready. It's truck season at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, and these deals won't last long. Test drive the 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4x4. Lease it for $489 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or take advantage of the purchase offer with a $6,000 rebate or rates as low as 0.9%. Or the 2024 Equinox LS all-wheel drive. Lease it for only $359 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or purchase it with a $2,000 rebate and rates as low as 1.9%. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevy. Customers must qualify top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offer on select models. Lease offer must have select model current lease through GM Financial. Finance offer must have 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. See salesperson for details. Must take delivery by April 30th, 2024. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, Route 28 in Herkimer, or at StevePawneeChevy.com.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Ready for a smoother, safer ride? Look to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Let Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair get your vehicle ready for spring. Visit Tallman's to get your free alignment check and take advantage of their spring tire rotation and 4-wheel balance special for only $39.99. Get the snow tires off now and save with an instant rebate on Bridgestone and Firestone tires in April, up to $100 off. Visit them in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or schedule an appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1907 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1907p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 100 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1907 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1907 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 117 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-3077 now to secure your 1907p $10 gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-3077.
Gold is setting new record highs. So where do you purchase gold even for your IRA? Don't believe paid celebrity hype to buy gold. Call me, Dr. Mike Fulgens, America's gold expert at Universal Coin and Bullion. I've advised attorneys general and the FTC on consumer protections. I don't add ridiculous markups so you won't overpay. Call Dr. Fulgens to buy gold safely and easily by dialing pound 250 on your mobile phone and saying Gold Expert. That's pound 250 and say Gold Expert.
Hey, River Hills Properties is the #1 independent real estate agency in all of central New York. And if you bring in the chains, it's #2. This is a real estate agency. No one knew who they were 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. Well, they didn't exist. And when Bill and Robin Monjo started, they wanted to do a full-service real estate agency, offering services that we don't normally get around here, but now you do. Some 30 agents at River Hills Properties, and everything from the book, 40 to 100 pages filled with everything there is to know about River Hills Properties, everything there is to know about the home that you're potentially buying, when the warranty was in place, when the improvement happened, when the roof went on, et cetera, et cetera. And is there a warranty on that roof? Then, of course, there's a lockbox. No agents at River Hills use the lockbox. Your listing agent is physically there every time your house is shown to keep an eye on your property. It's a safety, security issue, as well as having that agent there answering a question that could speed up the process. And believe me, if you're selling your home, we all want the same thing. We want to speed up the process. It's River Hills Properties. Offices in Barneveld, Little Falls, Rome, and Utica. Online, riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. And nobody sells homes like River Hills. And remember, their TV show, Sold in Upstate New York, airs Saturdays at 2 p.m., Sundays 8 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. on Fox, and always on YouTube. Search Sold in Upstate New York. And we'll tell you about bathrooms. If you want to, this kind of goes in line with home improvement. New York Sash can redo your bathroom in just a couple of days. Usually it's under 2 days. And everybody knows that they sell the windows, they sell siding and all of that, but their bathrooms are amazing. Unlike other contractors that take weeks or even months to finish the job, New York Sash can have your beautiful new bathroom installed in 1 to 3 days. And right now, there's a 15% offer on windows, doors, or baths if you call today. Reach out, or you can visit them on their showroom, at their showroom on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, or always online at newyorksash.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Scott and Kirkville coming up in a second to talk about your betting opportunities. And don't look now, But the Kentucky Derby is coming up on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Get your hat, get your mint, get your julep, and you're good to go. I believe you need whiskey.
Get your money.
Andrew, some comments quickly. What do you have?
Yes, so these are a couple I'm catching up from Wayne. He's been messaging throughout the morning. Back to your black cat, stray feral cat situation spraying. Wayne says, tell Bill to spray the cat back.
Well, that's what there's apparently a device that Donna had reached out to us about, and it is motion detector. It's a motion detector, and it will actually spray and it might be a cat, it might be a rabbit, depending on what you're trying to protect. I mean, we just want this thing to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one that's a motion detected sprays bullets.
You gotta. It's not legal in New York.
It's not legal in New York.
Not yet.
But I believe it is in Texas.
Also, he mentioned we were talking about the woman who had.
By the
her
way,
skirts.
Mike says the best way to get rid of the big black cat is to get a big black dog.
That is true.
Or really any color dog.
Wayne also mentioning the woman's skirt that was pulled down because it was showing a little too much skin. Often women do that to show off the breast and butt because they have the ugly face.
Okay. All right, Wayne. We'll do well with that comment.
John in New Hartford, from time to time, you guys should throw in a question with $1,000 prize, but make it something that is ridiculously hard so there's a little chance that anyone will win it. It would be a hell of a teaser.
Okay.
And then Lance and Lee, screw you, must have touched a nerve. I guess sometimes the truth does hurt. It's not surprising that you don't take criticism well.
So Wayne did also say, your boy Andrew is getting all defensive and crotchety. LOL.
Yeah. He actually had an appropriate comment to me. You're the best. Don't let those a-holes comments and complaints get to you.
Do you want to apologize?
They do like their job.
To Lance. Should you apologize?
Should I? Yes. Am I going to? No.
Okay. Here's Scott in Kirkville. Hello, Scott. Good morning.
Gentlemen, how you guys doing today? Getting set for the Derby, huh?
It's Saturday, right?
Yes. They already did the drawing for the post position. So if you go online or probably go to Churchill.com but they already got the 20 horses that there's 20 horses that the top 20 qualified, and then they normally choose two also eligibles in case there's some scratches. So they've already did the drawing, so you know where your horse is going to start from. Which sometimes the post position in a 20 horse field does matter. So that's already been taken care of. So,
but this is where you could get, because there are so many, you could get a long shot going somewhere, right?
Yeah, just. In general, because I think it'd be easier for me to, if I can, if you want me to call it back Friday, it would be more specific.
Yeah, we will Friday. Yeah.
But the horses that basically are going to be your favorite did not get hurt by the post position. Forcefulness is going to be your favorite through the 17 hole, and he wants to be near the lead. So I want him on the outside so he doesn't get squashed coming out of the gate.
Okay. Yeah.
The closer, which is going to be your second choice, I think it's Sonia Leone. He drew the 2-hole, but he's going to drop back. So he doesn't care to get – he's going to come back. He's going to drop back and fly at the end. So his post position didn't get hurt. And the other one is going to be interesting, and this is going to be interesting how much money he takes. But Forever Young, who I haven't found, is a Japanese horse. Went over to Dubai, won the races to get into the Derby. He's a fighter. He's not the fastest horse in the race, but he can get the distance, and he's got heart. The two races I saw, he should have lost, but he fought to win. So those horses right there, I'm kind of keeping an eye on starting. There are some. I think you can hit some bombs. There isn't any super horse. And by the way, guys, there cannot be a Bob Baffert horse in the race because he's still
banned, right? Suspended.
To be Dean of Spirits. Yeah. So the two best horses are not in the race, by the way.
Wow. So you'll come back on Friday and you'll have some. I would love it if you'd give our listeners the perfect pick.
Yes.
The perfect pick?
Yeah. Yeah.
The one. Like.
You know, the one that wins.
The money maker.
The money maker. There you go. I'll give you different ways, but I tell you one that's kind of fun, and you got to bet it on Friday. It's the combination Kentucky Oaks Kentucky Derby, where it's actually the Philly race. And they have a double, so you get to pick the horses from that and combine it with the horses in the Kentucky Derby, and usually it pays out well. And that's if you can find a couple of horses you like in the Philly, then you can spread your horses in the Derby. So that's kind of a fun bet right there, and it doesn't cost that much to do.
Okay, and then NBA and NHL for those that are interested in doing some betting.
Well, I'll tell you what happened for a start. I don't know if you guys. I don't follow the NBA as much as college because the NBA season's so long.
Yeah.
But if you're following college, the NBA, there was a ton of scoring in the first half of the season.
Okay.
And there was a memo turned to the officials saying, please don't call certain calls against the defense. And that was right after the All-Star break, and 62% of the games went under. Well, to start the playoffs, basically the first 13 games went under until people started complaining there weren't any calls. Remember that Philadelphia-New York game where there was 2 or 3 calls? And so all of a sudden, the referee started calling it. Last night, all games went over. But if you just bet the under itself blindly, then the first 19 games of the playoffs, you had gone 13-6.
Okay, all right.
But that's something right there, just doing blindly. But the NBA to me is an in-game bet because there's so much. Let's put it this way: the Mavericks are down 31, going to the third quarter, and actually took the lead.
Think about that. That's just unbelievable. And you know who is big with that is especially the Denver Nuggets at home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean if they're behind, that would be a good live bet because they tend to not. They don't tend to lose at home. So
they don't lose at home, and they don't get out to a good start.
Yeah,
so they're down.
Yeah.
They're down. I think the Lakers at one time have led 70% of the games, and they're down 3-1. Think about it.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, I have Kathy with a question for you.
Yeah, Kathy.
And I'm trying to do this. How do I do it, Davey? I'll try here. There we go. I don't know how to put it on 2 different pots, though. I got to figure out how to do that. Do you know how, Davey?
I think they'll just have to. Maybe it mixes automatically. We'll see.
We'll see. Kathy in Rome, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Hey, Kathy, how you doing?
We're doing good. How about you, Scott?
That sounds pretty good anyway.
Getting psyched, aren't we?
Oh,
Derby,
definitely. I got my 150th Kentucky Running in the Derby shirt. It's beautiful with all the winners.
Wow.
All right.
And I got my Belmont shirt for Saratoga with the
that's cool.
the beautiful navy blue shirt with the Belmont trophy. So I'm starting to get ready. I'm all excited. I'm going to go with No More Time.
No more time. Well, then we'll hang up on you.
The horse, of course.
We'll see what happens.
What do you think of that, Scott?
Well, I'll do more research on it, but I tell you something: there isn't a super horse this year. There isn't a horse that I can say even the favorites got some like mental problems. Horsemaness doesn't want mud kicking their face, and he stops running.
Oh, that's a
Leon
problem.
has troubles getting in the gate. So are they going to have 100,000 people? Is he going to leave his race just get him in the gate? So this is the year, I tell you. If you like a horse, go for it. There's a horse called Just Steel that you're probably going to get 20-1, 25-1 shot. He finished second to a Bob Baffert horse called Mouth, and that's the best horse probably in training. So if you keep an eye on that horse and his odds, you got to put him in the exotics because I think he's going to be there at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely for the 150th running, which makes it so special.
Yeah.
To not have, too much of a favorite.
Sure,
but I'll stick with my choice for now.
Well, unfortunately, I'm out of time. And,
all right. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. And Scott, we will chat again on Friday as we go into Derby weekend. So. Pretty cool.
Good, guys.
All right, good
May the
hearing from
horses-
you. Thank you, man.
May the horses be with you.
May the horses be with you.
There you
and
go.
also with you. A little Catholic horse stuff there for you. All right, Scott. Thank you, man. Thank you. Got a break. We'll come right back. We're going to talk a little bit about these protests that are going on. Where should we be on all of this? I think it seems pretty simple for me. We're talking about Israel and Gaza. Israel was attacked brutally by Hamas. And as much as Israel has tried to avoid civilian casualties, Hamas continues to place innocent civilians near their military installments. This is, who's in the wrong then? Who would be in the wrong? I still think Hamas is in the wrong here. These kids that are protesting have no idea what they're protesting, and you can just figure that out when you talk to somebody who has a personal interest, like family members, many of them who live in Israel. We'll speak with Paul Stern, who's someone who works here at Town Square Media, but has a big opinion on this, coming up at WIVX.
Before you buy or take delivery of a bed where you can pick a number on each side and pick the firmness, compare to the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort at Mattress Express. Compare price, compare warranty, compare features. No appointment necessary.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris commercial mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it. With patented suspension technology, visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Ready for a smoother, safer ride? Look to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Let Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair get your vehicle ready for spring. Visit Tallman's to get your free alignment check and take advantage of their spring tire rotation and 4-wheel balance special for only $39.99. Get the snow tires off now and save with an instant rebate on Bridgestone and Firestone tires in April, up to $100 off. Visit them in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, or schedule an appointment online at tallmanstire.com.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. That is Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their roofs for troops mail-in rebate. That is Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Just admit it, you love yard sales, but only one thing beats driving around looking for them: attending the world's largest yard sale. Great news, it's back and bigger than ever before. Who thought it could even get bigger? The world's largest yard sale is coming to the Herkimer County Fairgrounds on Saturday, June 8th. This is your chance to sell your stuff to the thousands who attend the world's largest yard sale. It sure beats putting up your own yard sale signs all around town and hoping for a crowd. At the world's largest yard sale, all you have to do is get a booth and you get to keep all the profit on everything you sell. Cha-ching! Hurry and reserve your booth today because it's filling up quickly at a record pace. The The world's largest yard sale, Saturday, June 8th at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Brought to you by the Potting Shed Antiques, John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories, and sponsored by James Mitsubishi, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. For more information, download this station's app or check out our website.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
If you're dealing with neck, back, knee, wrist, arthritis, shoulder, or neuropathy pain, or any other kind of pain, Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica can help. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. It's a gel that's applied to the impacted area, and a sonogram-like device sends high-speed sound waves to the impacted area, moving blood flow and your body's natural stem cells to the impacted area, and it promotes natural healing. So you can give up the pain pills, the injections, and you may even be able to avoid surgery a little longer with Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. Teams like the LA Lakers, the Guardians, the Steelers, the Nets, the New York Giants, the Chicago Cubs, and other medical institutions like Cleveland Clinic and Mayo Clinic use this device. It's even used after open heart surgery to immediately start natural healing. So what are you waiting for? Go online to reviveutica.com, get more information, and if you call them up, 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427, and mention the Keeler Show, you'll get a Discovery Day deal, which is a discount on your initial consultation and treatment. It's reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, and Chuck Sedella and everybody over there. They're very excited about their new offering, their new drink, and it is the matcha latte, green tea latte. So good.
Very popular right now.
Andrew had one when he was visiting Guatemala many years ago. Where were you?
It was a life-changing experience.
You were in New York City or something, Brooklyn.
Yes.
When you had it. Anyway, it's a matcha latte. If you've not tried this as of yet, it's so good. Available now at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And quickly, some comments here. There's a thing going on between Lance and Lee. And
if that's his name.
And Matt, and Andrew here. Let's see. Must have touched a nerve. I guess sometimes the truth does hurt, he's saying to you.
Yeah, we read that comment. Yeah.
Really
and then you asked if I should apologize. I said maybe I should, but I'm not going to.
He said really couldn't care less about an apology. I know the personality that I'm dealing with, hence why I don't why I don't watch anymore.
Yes.
Okay. And you have a great personality. I take criticism just fine from people who actually matter. Let me go take a melatonin from the sleep I lose knowing you're not listening.
That was my comment.
That was your comment.
Yeah.
And then he responded by saying, LOL, wearing skinny jeans doesn't mean you're not fat.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
So they're not skinny jeans. They're pants that I'm wearing. And, I could afford to lose a few pounds. And we don't know what he looks like. He's probably a disgusting slob, but we'll never know because he's a coward and won't show his face or his identity.
Are we stopping there?
I think so.
All right. In studio right now is Paul Stern. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Now, here's the rule. I like how you're tilted, but you got to pull it right to you. Literally have to turn it. Andrew, you help him if you could. Can we make this a normal, I don't have to say anything on the air because you go running?
Yeah.
That's what we need. And you're down at the base. It's losing its. All right. Okay. Leave it. Just stay tight on it. Because otherwise, it just doesn't work. Paul, you are Jewish. You have many, I would say many, family members in Israel. And, of course, you live here and you're watching these protests that are happening around the country, especially on college campuses. How does that make you feel right now?
Well, first of all, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Andrew, for having me on your show. How does it make me feel? Well, I do have family, extended family in Israel, who are listening to this broadcast right now. The protests that are happening across the United States is unsettling. I believe in the First Amendment. I absolutely do. However, I feel like the fact that Jewish students at colleges from coast to coast are feeling uncomfortable going to classes is a problem. Hamas is a terrorist group. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget what happened on October 7th.
Yeah,
my family in Israel have relatives, have friends. Everybody knows somebody that was affected on October 7th. You had 1,200 people that were massacred.
Right.
Okay. They were slaughtered. And we're talking about babies. We're talking about children. We're talking about women. We're talking about men. We're talking across the board. You had 5,400 people that were injured. Here are a group of people.
This is clearly our. Yeah. It is their 9/11.
It's exactly.
No doubt about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, there are still hostages being held, and many of them are
there
Americans.
There are 134 hostages still being held right now. All right. How many of those hostages are still alive?
Right.
Let's think about that. What are the hostages going to be like when and if they are returned? Mm-hmm. If Hamas was really serious about peace, right, the hostages would be returned.
Right.
Okay. As you mentioned earlier in the pre-conversation that you brought up, Hamas is putting the Palestinian people at harm. They have tunnels across Gaza, underneath hospitals, underneath schools, entrances, exits, in the mosques. What is Israel supposed to do? This is a terrorist group that has stated they want to wipe Israel off the map. They want to push the Israeli people into the Mediterranean Sea.
This is what amazes me, is that these protesters, who, by the way, I do not think they know what they're doing. I don't think they've done their homework. But here they are saying that Israel is trying to wipe out an entire group of people, when Hamas is actually claiming that is indeed what they would like to do. None of this makes any sense.
Yeah, that is their mantra. That is what they have said. Mm-hmm. Iran is funding Hamas, is funding Hezbollah, and what is very easy for folks here to criticize and to say what Israel is doing. We had our 9/11. What happened after 9/11?
Yeah.
We didn't stand idly.
We did not. No.
Right? We did not. I do not want babies, women killed, but let's take the narrative a little differently, right? The people that are at fault, again, it's Hamas. What is Israel supposed to do? They are defending their land. They just recently, Iran was, you had drones going in, you had missiles going over there. They're being attacked. So what's going on across the United States is, in my mind, we go harken back to the 60s, Vietnam. I believe in being able to protest. However, I also feel that people are not well educated on the topic.
They are not.
They are not.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if I can, I don't mean to interrupt, and I'm running. Yeah. You got me to the top. Good. Here are these young ladies. So my daughter's there in the midst of all of this, who's furious because she sees the things, the way we see it, and as I think many do. However, those who are protesting, she's telling me that young ladies, 20-year-olds, are walking into class wearing the headscarf that Hamas wears.
Exactly.
Do you understand what you're wearing? This is a group that does not believe you should even be able to go to school, let alone, God forbid, you were to show your skin, to show your body in any way and not completely cover yourself. You might find yourself being raped or stoned or beaten. You're
trying to get across an opinion.
And you're supporting that group. Exactly. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think they're, I could, intellectually, I could understand where they're coming from, right?
No one wants to
But-
see the pictures that we see on TV.
Exactly.
It's horrific.
Exactly. But you have to kind of look at the whole picture of what's
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
here. And I think the fact that people are coming in with, headdresses looking like terrorists, and not everybody on these campuses at Columbia University or USC or
absolutely.
NYU
There are a lot of
or
infiltrators.
Emory or
Yes.
Northeastern or the University of Texas. From coast to coast, you're having these encampments on on college campuses, and you're also
There's an organization. Somebody's involved.
There's
Yeah.
something behind this.
I
And I
agree.
believe that students should have the right to speak up, but I think once again, there should be a civil way of doing this where, as a Jewish person, I have family that attended Columbia, that attended NYU. I'm from Brooklyn. I shouldn't feel like I'm going to go to college, take a class, pay
Feel
money,
uncomfortable.
and feel uncomfortable.
Feel
Then
in danger.
Exactly.
Which
When
is-
they're burning American flags, when they're burning Israeli flags, when they're saying, when they're chanting Palestinian or, chants, that, even if it's not physical harassment, it's mental harassment where I don't want to go to that class, and that is wrong. The fact that commencement services are being canceled, think about it. 4 years ago, what did we have? We were in the midst of COVID.
The kids who are graduating college today miss their high school graduations. They're missing.
They're missing the grad. So I think
if
everybody
you can wrap up as we're hitting a hard out here.
Yeah, I just think people have to, take a step back, think, be civil. It's not an easy topic for anybody. However, for me, it's very easy in the sense that, I have family in Israel. I am Jewish.
What I say is, if you are a parent or a relative of one of these students that's out there protesting, call them today and inform them, educate them. We got to go.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Another attempt to stop the war in Gaza. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Hamas has before it a proposal that is extraordinarily generous on the part of Israel.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken pushing for that ceasefire in Saudi Arabia today. Then he'll go to Israel again. Still warning against Israel's planned ground invasion of Rafah, an area of Gaza filled with civilians. Israeli airstrikes there overnight killed at least 22 Palestinians. Attacks students here keep protesting. That's at UCLA in California, where pro and anti-Israel demonstrators clashed. The protests have spread to college campuses nationwide, demanding their schools cut ties with Israel. Fox's Brian Yennis reports from Columbia, New York City.
They are also demanding universal amnesty. They don't want to receive any punishment or discipline from the university at all, period, for participating in these protests. The university is asking students to self-identify themselves and attest to following university rules in the future, but even that is not something the protesters seem willing to do. Columbia University President Manoush Shafiq has promised the protesters there won't be any lockdowns or evictions of the encampment, and vowed the NYPD will not be called onto campus again to make arrests.
NATO's leaders gone to Kyiv, saying countries have failed to deliver on promises to help Ukraine battle Russia after a long delay in new U.S. military aid and questions about European assistance as Russian forces advance, pushing Ukrainian troops to retreat from 3 more villages in the east. Parts of Oklahoma are in tatters after weekend tornadoes, including a baby killed among the 4 people dead. The small city of Sulphur hit hard, the downtown just about gone. Governor Kevin Stitt tells Fox.
Just unbelievable. But Oklahomans are coming together. The Red Cross was there. People from all over the state are coming together to help.
Someone in Iowa also died after storms there. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1860.